Hello, everybody, and welcome to the final day of the ESL PUBG Masters North America qualifiers for the ESL PUBG Masters Americas event starting next week. I am Horsois. Joining me is Clover for this final day, and it has been a weekend of excitement. I guess the most exciting probably being Spicy Fish and their debut yesterday, and what a debut it was, Clover.
Absolutely. I mean, those were some of the best games of PUBG I think that we've seen yet this year. As you can see, 92 points in one day through 6 games. A surefire way, I think, to kind of put the critics to bed. You know, there's been a lot of chatter about this roster forming coming out of PGIS with 3 PGIS players, and I think that they've kind of made the message clear. You know, hey, we're here to stay. We're happy with this roster. We're comfortable in this roster, and you know what? You guys better look out.
Well, I can definitely count myself or myself, all of myself brought all together into one giant package as a convert. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I didn't believe. I didn't believe. I didn't believe in the spicy fish route. I didn't think they would do well. I didn't think they would do this well. I didn't think they would do well enough to make top eight, and they have absolutely proven me wrong. As they've not just playing in a style to get them a whole bunch of points, but they're dominating. Like I mean, the style that they're playing is uh, it's just suffocating to every team that's around them.
You know, it really is. And I think that they're, not to kind of switch away from it, but there was a similar sentiment that I had about Oath. Oath also had that really big roster change, had their first
Mm.
days yesterday. And the first few games of them on Erangel, they did not look great. They really didn't put down very many points. And I think we were starting to wonder, oh, is this the bad Oath that we've seen before when they have their off days, when they start out an event slow? But like we've seen in the past, the longer they get to play together, the better things click. And the second half of yesterday was fantastic for them, as you can see right there in ninth place with 53 points. But I think had they started off as explosives as we saw Spicy Fish, there could have been a chance that Oath might have even been a little bit closer to the top there. Though you kind of got to wonder, now that we've got the best of Lobby A and C together, some very high fragging teams, are there going to be those huge scoring chances for some of these guys today?
Yeah, I mean it's insane that you look at some of these teams and you talk about like STK 59 points in one day, 53 points in a day for Oath. I mean any other lobby that is insane. I mean that's looking fantastic. And that's the story. But then Spicy Fish comes in, almost breaks 100. But there you go. Here's our groups for today. A and C are going to be scrapping it out, and some real heavy hitters in this one, Clover.
I'm so excited. You really can't put higher stakes on the line than what we've got this weekend. Only 8 teams are going to qualify and move forward. And like we just talked about, any other day, a 50-point day would be a great day. But on the weekend like this, you've really got to bring your A game.
It's crazy that it almost feels like to get top eight, you're going to have to average what 120, 120 points, maybe the cut line. I
Cameron
mean,
was saying 70, 75 yesterday. I feel
no,
like
no
if
way,
we've got the same
no
energy,
way.
it could be 80. We could be seeing a really high cutoff point. I mean, look, we're at 55 already, and that's for 2 teams that are no longer playing. So with so many teams in A and C that still have yet to climb, I think maybe if we get really top heavy, it could be 70, 75. But there's a big
Yeah,
chance today that that number could
I
go
mean,
higher.
like 100, 120 obviously is a little bit of a meme, but I mean, I gotta tell you, I really feel confident saying that gas cans might not make it. I don't know why. I don't know why, but it feels like that's how the lobby is feeling right now. We have so many teams that are playing right now that are just balling out of their minds, fragging uncontrollably, and really taking advantage of this last, hurrah for these super settings. That it feels like gas cans, if they do qualify, it's going to be like barely. I don't know. I mean, 6 games left to play. What do you think?
Well, I mean, we can take a look right now at this comparison chart. Gas cans have double the amount of games than Spicy Fish. They played Friday and Saturday. They are sitting out watching the teams play today. And although they're ranked first, neither team have chicken dinners, but both have 67 kills, 11,769 damage. Spicy Fish with half the games, 11,100. And the points are so close, 98 to 92. I mean, that's absolutely
So dumb.
insane. And Gas cans by no means played poorly. They played out of their minds this weekend.
So dumb. So dumb. I mean, like, I think we were talking about this earlier. I loved seeing the Reddit post about like, oh, imagine when we get to the chicken dinner format and neither of these teams will be qualifying. Okay, guys, look, they're not playing with chicken dinners in mind. They're playing with points in mind. Okay, so obviously that's how they're playing with. Obviously, they're getting 92 points in one day. You think they're playing with chicken dinners in mind? Come on, get it together. But 92 points in one day. Do you think Spicy Fish will produce something even close to that today, or do you think it's going to be clear sailing?
I think it's gonna be a little bit difficult given some of the teams in the lobby, in part just because of where Spicy Fish does like to play on Erangel and Miramar. They're gonna have some other heavy hitters to meet on early. But I know that you had some interesting talking points as well about when they're getting their kills. So that honestly might
Mm.
not matter. I think the question is going to be mechanically, can they go up against teams like Sonic's, teams like Shoot to Kill, teams like Oath if they fight them in Circle 2 and Circle 3?
Well, I mean, it's arguable that this might be the more difficult lobby. We'll have to see how that plays out. But yeah, you hit the nail on the head with with spicy fish, and you look at how Gas Cans has gotten their points throughout this tournament, right? Gas Cans was a very heavy on kills in like Circle 3, Circle 5, mid game, basically. Like mid game rotations, they would find people, they would catch people, they would scrap. Spicy Fish is consistently getting kills from Circle 1 till Circle. Well, hi. How are you
Hello,
guys doing?
everybody.
How's it going? How's your day going? Good? Good, 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 good. Love to see it. Love to see it. Love to see it. Well, that game one did in fact finish for everybody. As I slam on my desk and shake my camera, I need to figure out a different way to mount this camera so I can actually touch my desk again. But Zenith Esports comes out on top with 18 kills, 28 points. Clover gotta be feeling like Nostradamus right now, as that was your
I
call,
mean,
wasn't it?
it feels good. It feels
Feel pretty
good.
good,
I say that
feeling good, feeling
Zenith
good.
had some great kills and games prior this weekend, but I just wasn't feeling that they were in their final form. This feels like their final form. And I know,
Final form.
I always say that. I feel like we kind of got a little bit of a cheat on everybody else because we did get to watch this game up until the very end for the most parts, and there were some fantastic plays for them. Really dominant position on the edge for quite a bit. That circle shift was a little bit hazy in some situations for them, but I think that they played it smart, especially considering how open it was near the end. Especially also shout out to Dodge who picked up 15 points for that match as
Mhm.
well. They did a fantastic job kind of keeping dominance on the East.
Yeah, Ascendants as well. I mean, Ascendants came into today in 17th place. I mean, they were kind of hovering around that 16th place line. So a first game starting off with 10 points is definitely a step in the right direction. As remember, we were talking a little bit earlier about how it's not just we're obviously looking at the top spots to make sure kind of who comes in first, but top 8 go on to the PUBG Masters America's Grand Finals, but 9th through 16th also get a free pass to the group stages for PCS4. So a little bit important there, stuff to keep an eye on. So Ascendance does climb up to that 14th place spot. Zenith, meanwhile, shooting up to 7th place after they were in 18th going into this game. So, it just goes to show one good game can be all the difference.
Yeah, and we did talk about the fact prior into the matches starting that Tactical 8 and comments were going to get pushed out. They were pushed out this game. Oath, Dodge, and Zenith all got pretty much most of the points that they really needed to make that happen on this. So the question now, of course, becomes: will Gravity, will any trolls in chat keep their top 8 positions, or are
Mm.
we going to see a dominant performance by a lot of these teams today? And is that going to bode well for Group B?
And you add in the fact that there was a little bit of a misstep there, not only by Spicy Fish but also Sonic. So not a lot of points picked up in that game. And when you look at yesterday and you look at how many points were being just sponged up by Spicy Fish and kind of making the cut line, the rest of the leaderboard kind of fight over the scraps and keeping things close down there. Not the case today. So looks like we are ready to get into game number 2 on Erangel. We have 6 today, guys. So game 1, we didn't see the end of it, but we are going to see everything from this point on. That is my personal Poro guarantee. Put a stamp on
Oh, well, make like proper stamps for this. And I mean, I do want to kind of put back because we really didn't get to see any of the game on stream for everyone. And there was another team that didn't really have a great match, and that was Sonics. Sonics had a little bit of a close call, a drive by that didn't go very well. Tiggleton drove up
it.
close to a compound that was held out by Dodge. Dodge got the knock on the Tiggleton. H-Win tried to drive by and do a little bit of a drive-by action to try to see if he could spot who he thought was a solo in this compound. It ended up actually being 2 players of Dodge. The second player knocked Win, and then you had Zampa try to kind of creep up onto this compound in retribution. Zampa unfortunately fell as the rest of Dodge came to help out that fight, and that really left Shrimsy out on his own kind of near the end of the game. So any points that
Mm.
Sonics really accumulated that match was
Oh,
mainly just based on Shrimsy in the late game. Oh,
well,
that map.
yeah. Okay.
All
Let's
right, let's spicy things up.
let's head it on down to military. It looks like oh no, once again, Icy Fish, 2 games in a row, gonna lose a player super early to the car drop. This time it's gonna be Sharp Shot, and it's not even for a car, it's for a compound. Lampalot coming out on ahead on that one. Looks like the revolver or the revolver was ready and waiting to go, but he didn't need it because he had the barrel. But that's going to be one going down. And look at this Zucky boy also going down to Purdy Curdy. He will do the deed with the fists. Yep, scrap it out, and that's going to be already 2 going down.
I really hate to see that. I mean, it's kind of a bit of a stretch of a drop here to kind of hold Watertown and Cube, but good play there on Shoot to Kill to kind of keep dominant position. We really see Shoot to Kill, especially when they land out there in the crates, try to make sure nobody else is nearby. Really thinking back to last year when there was a lot of bullying for them onto ATC. Anytime ATC would
Mhm.
try to rotate out of North George, sometimes Shoot to Kill would quite literally wait in the blue to send a message to them, say,
Yeah.
hey, we really don't like you in this area, and we just want to make sure we're going to make your life hell anytime you try to leave. So interesting play there for Shoot to Kill, kind of punish Cozy Crew for getting a little too close to them.
I wouldn't be at all surprised to see SDK pull some stuff like that in this game as well because they tend to get particularly aggressive over their territory in the north side, especially on circles that go towards military because they know they're coming in late. Right? They
Mhm.
have nothing else, nothing better to do with their time in the early game than to scrap it out and try to see if they can pick up skill points off of 3 drops. Seen that one guy drop onto Cube looked about as free as it could possibly look for Purdy, and that's one picked up in the tank for them so far. Inquisition, meanwhile, they drop on military. Tommel already stretching out here down to the bridge just to see what's going on, and he's going to see the boys from 300 making a rotation over already.
Another look at Zenith as Vegas is looting up prison. We've got a bit of the mainland in, and anytime that happens, we'll see a few teams take a little bit of sweet time looting and then just kind of play the edge until that phase 2 pops to figure out whether they need to commit to an eastern or western rotation onto the military. But already, Zenith sending 2 ahead. They've got themselves a couple
There
bike
you go.
gang squad here, and figure out which is the best way across. Because as we do know, I mean, we saw a bridge camp last game, even though the circle was as far as military as you could probably get, centered up
Hmm.
around Zarki. This time, are we going to see a proper military bridge camp now that we have a military zone?
Well, I definitely think it's possible. Last time it was 300, and we see they have already made their way over to the island, which makes sense. You have that ferry pier drop. Might as well go ahead and take whatever good real estate on the island that you can get while you can early on. Sonics coming up on the hillside. They're going to definitely check this out to make sure that they're not being camped, or the bridges are not being camped as they decide how they want to go about this. Only three of them there. I'm not sure where. Oh, okay, never mind. Zampa's just shuttling. He's going to be H-Win's Uber driver this time around. Shrimsy going to be the one to do a little poking and prodding. A spot out there. He's going to spot out nothing because there is a nobody around that bridge right now. So the question is, how quickly can they get it done? Because the longer they take to finish scouting that out, the more opportunity other teams will have to come in, possibly get there, roll up their third party at a little bit late.
Yeah, no, I'm really also excited too to see Dodge being this proactive early on. They've already finished up their looting. They've crossed the water. They're playing the northern side, and for a team to get in that position early on can also get them in an early fragging opportunity for some of those teams that like to cross the water, play that midway transition a little bit later. So I'm curious to see if Dodge is going to stay in that area, try to protect the north, or if they're going to go ahead and send it on further and try to get themselves in a nice central position. We've seen Dodge kind of go between both, playing the edge and playing the center. So depending on where the second phase pops, I think is where we're going to see which Dodge we're going to get out of this thing. But Poro, you talked before the game started today about
I
facing
did.
hardships, and I've got to ask you. I mean, do you think that they're going to do well? We've seen them frag out on military games before.
You know, currently in last place. I'm still sticking with my pick. I still think they can rally and get things back in line. Um, I'm a strong believer in that squad. I'm a strong believer in Farmer Billy, regardless of who he might be. Okay, mind your manners.
Get the
All
tinfoil
right,
hats on
just
for
let
that.
Farmer Billy be Farmer Billy, and do well. But yeah, I mean, so far things have not definitely not gone the way of hardships, and this is another circle that's going to go a million miles away from them. So they're going to have to figure out how to get over there. Looks like they're going for this boat spawn right on the coast, but they're taking a little bit of time. So this might be hardships thinking, this might be a good way to pick up some kills if we camp this out. Meanwhile, Cozy, they're gonna find Hoshi from Lost Reality in rotation. Storm's down as well. But your boy and Tio Reeks, though, Delta might be in a bad spot as he is getting peppered with shots. Reno gonna come up over the top, see if he can provide a little bit of support, but he's only got 37 HP. Tio Reeks does take some damage in return. Mitchy boy going to be the one throwing the smokes down, but Reno is going to find a
Ooh.
good flank, immediate knock, and a flush onto Tio Reeks, and it's all down to Mitchy. Delta will lose the 1v1. Reno will try to return it, but Delta gets flushed out. So Cozy losing another player. Are they going to lose three here? Yes, Reno goes down. It's all down to Tetra. Mitchy, oh, look at this. It's Ascendance. That's a third party from range. Worst time possible. All of this going on out in the blue as well. Ascendance, meanwhile, that's going to be an easy point to clean up. And oh, look at that, Spicy Fish and Zenith. Well, that
Well,
ended quickly.
all right. I mean, this is the play Spicy Fish needed, not what you wanted to see from Zenith. But considering the fact that they've already climbed themselves up into eighth, don't need to worry too hard just yet. You have a bad game, have another good one. But 4 kills right now for Spicy Fish, and they've got the high ground. Considering where this circle could go, especially if it keeps to the east at all, that will be a really great place for them to play from. But we've got more wraps rotations coming through, and Tiggleton knocked down again in a car wrap here. This time it's gonna be 300 that picks it up, but Trimsy applying some of the pressure onto 300. Looks like he is gonna get that knock. Can't quite find the flush, but a nade by
No,
Vox is actually gonna do it.
Oh, the reload coming at the worst possible time for Shrimsy there. And once again, Tiggleton knocked out of this game before he can even fire a single shot. I don't think he's taken a single shot in 2 games now. H1 and Zampa, though, they'll still stay alive. Well, hello
Hello.
again. Today we've learned that a Poro promise is worth absolutely nothing,
We
as
tried.
we had a little bit more technical difficulties. I'm very, very sorry, chat. We apologize for that one. Hopefully, I know some of you guys had the map screen up. If you did, then you saw 300 come out of that with a eight kill win. 10 placement points, 18 total points, which is really, really good news for them, Clover.
Absolutely. I mean, we talked about some of those teams that have the potential to try to make the push for that kind of top 8 break, and 300 was one of them up there. Fable, Lost Reality, and a couple other teams that really needed to put down some points today. And we saw Michi Boy play up there till the very end with only
Hmm.
one kill, but those placement points are definitely going to help out Lost Reality just a bit here. But that said, I mean, we're ready. Plane is in the air, guys, and we're just going to go ahead and jump straight into it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get it. Let's get that plane in the air. Let's get those teams on the ground, and let's see if Spicy Fish can actually keep all four up for longer than 2 minutes this time around. Definitely a different plane that we've been seeing, so we might see them kind of avoiding dodge right now. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but we'll keep an eye on it. Meanwhile, SDK, they're going to be falling right on top of their vehicle's normal drop spot of South George. That is about as free as you're ever going to get from them. Not going to see them creeping over towards that cube area, though, which is what they did last game when Purdy Curdy caught a pretty free kill off of, I believe it was Cozy.
Yeah, Cozy kind of sent Zucky Boy a little bit too close for Cube, and as we've kind of talked about a little bit that match, that anytime somebody lands in or around shoot to kill, it kind of send a message. They really don't want to have too much competition on their rotations after they're done looting, but given where the circle pops, it doesn't look like that's going to be too big of a problem for them.
Oof. For sure. Well,
Yeah,
that is going to
Houston,
be,
man.
yeah. I mean, look, hey, this is we've been talking about the, or well, okay, I've been hyping up the hardships. I've big believer in that squad, especially after what I saw them do in the Spark Series tournament not too long ago. But so far has not really been their weekend, and it has not been their day, as they have struggled to collect any points at all. So we'll see if this circle falling right on top of the GACA fields will be the sign they need, maybe the kick in the pants they need to get things going in the right direction. Uh, Nobody on Military Island this time around either. I guess more of a result of a plane than anything. So we see 300 tooling around up in north of the river area.
I mean, there's good compounds to loot here, but it's not typically
It's not
something I
great,
would
is it?
expect
Yeah.
a team like this to kind of play from, especially given the closeness, the proximity of a lot of these other teams. Now, we do have a couple that have gone to some alternative drop spots, but once again, with the flight path so far north, we do get Kameshki and Stalber back into play, which is where Inquisition chose to drop. But I mean, we've got Sonics in the lobby. We know they're going to go Pachinki. I don't think I've ever even really seen them take an alternative drop unless there's in the global stage, right, where they kind of had to give up Pachinki in a lot of situations. But I want to say that given this position where the circle is, my big fear right now is hardships. And if they're going to loot and kind of gather themselves back up together in time, Chuba,
Mm.
Farmer Billy are really far away from the rest of the team. And as teams start to wrap and rotate in those areas, as Sonics are doing right now, you got to wonder, is this going to hurt hardships if they don't kind of pick a place to play from soon?
Yeah, you gotta be quick on the decision making, even when the circle does fall on you. And looks like Sonics will cruise right on past where Chuba was. Checking back in with 300 coming in from the north side there, running right next to Everest. We'll see if any of the STK trailing duo spot that out. It doesn't look like they did, although Penta kind of his little map Dorito is looking over in that direction, but not sure if they spotted them or not. Either way, Kurt and Alo have already made their way in. They're kind of hanging out in a little 2-2 split on the coastal compounds. Cozy Crew, their part, collecting over towards Ruins. They are 4 deep in the US. They are bumping Rebecca Black. They are having the best time of their life right now.
Yeah, you got to keep that up. I mean, it's not Friday right now; it is Sunday. But
Damn
hey,
it.
you know,
It was all coming together.
it feels like a Friday. If that was Friday, that would have been like an even perfect joke. Rebecca Black just needs to make a song about Sundays, Boro.
Every day's a Friday when you're cozy crew and you've got your big snuggie on, your snuggie Pepe, and you're good to go. Veritas, meanwhile, looks like they are hopping in the vehicles. They're starting to leave this school apps split. Jazz and Dietrich's going to be leading the way. Michael and Danny G will be trailing from behind. I don't think they'll have to worry too much about Ascendance, although Ascendance is already on the move from Rozak. Okay, so this is another thing we were worried about here. Kurt on his own in this 1-1 split for STK. They sent two very, very early. I think 300 might have read this and figured out that it's one guy here. But you can see Penta starting to make his way as well. They might actually focus Penta and try to do a little bit of drive-by seat swapping action.
Ooh,
Penta will do some
damage.
big damage onto Leda, but it's not going to be enough to get the knock, and he's just going to cruise right up to Purdy. That should be it. But no, Luke is caught out. He's going to find one, but that's going to be him getting immediately traded out. And now Penta, I think, maybe picked up. Oh, he didn't even take Kurt with him. Penta is starting to creep on out there and maybe see if he can spot something from range. Kurt just going to go on foot, see if he can see anything from the hillside. Penta going to take a little bit of damage in return for his troubles. We'll find the knock onto Vox, but that's going to be about it. Head kick actually goes down as well. I'm not sure if that was from STK or if that was from somewhere else. I don't think it was. Because just down to the south of this, we've got another fight breaking off between Hard Shifts and someone else who shall remain nameless because I can't see who they are on the map. They're right on top of it. Oh, it's Cozy.
Crew.
There it is. Okay, here we go. 300. They're actually going to crash onto Purdy here.
I mean, there you go. I mean, you're already committed to this fight. I think Shoot to Kill haven't really had a good opportunity to regroup from this as well. And so 300 reading this and going for it. But, Nefer got a little bit close to Pinta and pulled back again. So I'm not sure what 300 is hoping to accomplish here.
Head kick must have been on 1 HP. He looked like he looked like his little name tag was dead. But I guess 300 keep 4 up. But here we go. This is the fight between Cozy and Hard Shifts. Cozy stepping in on a hard shift territory here on the Shark Fin and the Prio. You see Farmer Billy already down. Lobes tend to take a bunch of damage. He's down to next to no health here. The good flashbang, but it's not going to be enough. He'll find Delta. Actually, it will be enough. Good stuff from Lobes. Where's the backup from Zucky Boy? Zucky Boy went down the stairs again, but he's going to find him. That should do it for Lobes. Res should come through here, but the rest of the hard shifts have now arrived. Chubba and J-Sank coming in late. Oh, Chubba gets eaten alive by Tetra. The barrel through the kitchen window. And now it's just down to J-Sank. The grenade will come through. It's not going to do any damage to get the knock here. Tetra, the last one up. As Zucky Boy slowly bleeds out. It's a 1v1. Tetra trying to get a little bit of heal off while the flashbangs come through. Pre-firing the door. J-Sank will win the 1v1. And that will be Hard Shifts picking up some much needed points and staying alive in this lobby, if only just as a solo.
That Molotov thrown by Chubba was at the absolute perfect time. Not only did he get the flush on Delta before that res came out, but he also got the knock onto Zucky Boy. So a double kill out there, even though he passed, like you said, J-Sank left solo, but he is still in a great position for the zone that he can play from. But that said, we've got more wraps and rotations coming in. Dodge right now getting a knock and flush onto T-Sock, as we can see just a bit of a split here around Ascendance that looks like they've managed to escape for right now, but there's still other teams in the area. Sonic's close by. They've got to be a bit careful.
Yeah, Ascendance just can't seem to find a home right now. 8 minutes in, it is way late to be coming to the center of the circle and expecting to find anything, but looks like they will. Zray will find a compound that is free and clear. Maji and Zealot will come. Oh, there you go. Wicked. Good stuff, Zealot. We get them over the top. Yeah, and that'll be Ascendance finding a home in the center of the circle where really didn't think they would, but they get there. Meanwhile, we do have a number of teams that still have yet to make it into the circle. We got a couple coming down from the north side, one coming down from the south. I believe that's going to be Oath. Did the long wrap towards Military Island. Dodge, meanwhile, ooh, Lampalot, get out of there. Veritas just catching the back of him as he makes his way out, and it's going to be Dodge taking a little bit of a position here just as a duo on the high side of the southern side of Quarry.
Dodge really quick to continue moving on past that forest, and I think it's this aggression, or I would say really aggression, just the fact that they're not really standing still and staying bored. In the past, oftentimes we've seen Dodge pick a position and kind of avoid conflict, avoid fights, but this time they've been extremely proactive. They're constantly looking for where's the next spot they want to be. If they've been someplace too long, something feels stale, they're going to move forward, and I really like that. Now, Hickerman being so far removed from the rest, kind of out on a scouting mission, it even seems like here. I'm not sure what it is he's looking for Primorse, but he did take on a little bit of that fight there from Veritas. So I'm not sure if maybe he's just kind of out on a scouting mission. Actually, no, it looks like he went to go get a
Ooh,
crate. Excuse me. So it's a looting mission.
well, that seems worth, I guess, if you're gonna get it. Well, if nothing else, he's going to learn that Primorsk is fairly empty, with the exception of Veritas kind of hanging out on that hillside just to the north. As Lost Reality is going to find themselves in a little bit of trouble here. They get caught in the middle of rotation by Zenith. They're trading shots back and forth in the Gatka fields, but Lost Reality, as they push into the north side, they're going to find a little bit more waiting for them there, as it looks like we've got a number of teams making it past that Sharkfin Prio compound where J-Sank is hanging out, but J-Sank doesn't care. J-Sank going to take those shots at Fizzle and do some big old damage. Not going to get the knock, but I think that should at least protect himself for now. And put it on 2. You got this, boy.
Yeah. I mean, I think this crash is definitely coming out now from Elusive. A quick drive-by. See if... Oh, they've got to have spotted Hoshi just now. JLD. Not it on the sights, and it looks like it's actually going to mean Elusive instead. It's going to keep continuing on and look for somewhere else to put down. A bit of action, I think, all around the edge of this quarry as we're looking for teams starting to put up down onto the eastern side. But with so much water into play, you've got to kind of wonder, are we going to take another shift towards the Primorsk area? We're going to pull away from Primorsk, and is this going to become a quarry circle? And I think right now that's the kind of running through most of these teams' minds as they try to figure out where they want to go for that long-term kind of viability if they want to play center here.
It was definitely looking like it might be a quarry circle, as we see Afromaniacs taking a little bit of fire from the duo of Dodge on the hills just to the south of quarry. That's going to be Hello Senpai and Eicherman. Now that he's collected that vehicle, Michael, with the most passive aggressive shooting I've ever seen in my life, as he's not even bothering scoping in. He's just going to take the shots, let him know he's there. Danny G, meanwhile, he's got Afromaniacs coming up right behind him.
Oh,
the C-swaps will come out. Not going to be enough to find the knock, but there you go. Danny G will get spotted by Show, and that's Veritas losing 1.
I agree. Shooting by Light Show. And this is I personally always a little bit skeptical about these compounds. You can see it's a bit of a dip. You've got ridges on both sides, and you're going to have a lot of teams transitioning, especially if it goes any further south in that Primorsk area. But it does give Afromaniacs a good rap or reputation priority, especially if they want to play center for this. But, back again on the edge now, Fabled finally working their way into the zone. They had a bit of a fight earlier on with Inquisition. Looks like it's still not completely over. Oh no, excuse me. Never mind. Inquisition actually is off on their own. So
Yeah, they'll be fine.
yeah.
They're all alone up there on that northeastern edge. They're just vibing. Meanwhile, Lost Reality, I got to give props to the rotation that they made. I mean, it was very, very dangerous, very dicey, but they do manage to get all 4 into this quarry area on a circle that does look like it's bound and determined to eventually fall onto this quarry spot. Meanwhile, you got Dodge and Veritas doing a very, very good 2-2 split from both sides. They're taking up some prime real estate, not only in the quarry, but in the hills just to the south, and then Veritas in the hills to the north of Primorsk. Now, that's Michael going to have that information that there's absolutely nothing coming from the south side unless somebody does a wrap, and if they do, he will be able to spot that out and see it. So see where the next circle goes. And whoa,
What?
okay, what
Okay.
a shift. Okay, Oath gets hashtag blessed on this one, as they have that beachside compound, and they are looking very, very nice. As now all our teams from the north are going to have to make the hardest push through some of the toughest territory here just to get into the circle.
I mean, you really don't even have much that's playable. The beach behind Oath, it's so open, you might as well just consider it as unplayable as the water behind it. And even though Primorsk will most notably not be in the circles moving forward, it definitely could be a good option for some of those teams coming in from the west that just want to have a quick place to play from, as if they want to kind of creep on the edge, because you really look ahead of them. You've got that compound we talked about there with the Afromaniacs, but now as the wraps are coming in, you've got Curdy taking shots there onto Ascendant. This leaves Ray with the drive-by that gets the knock and the flush coming out from Maji. So Ascendant's picking up another one here.
That's bad news there for SDK. I mean, they've already sent Alo. He's down in this South Hills overlooking Prim. Mitchy Boy gonna go down. Hoshi's already down as well. Stone Storm gonna keep driving, see if he can maybe get out of this one. It looks like he should, and Tio Reeks is the one behind the wheel, and Lost Reality will stay alive, but for how much longer? They're pushing into a north side of this circle that is already occupied. You've got Spicy Fish in the warehouse compound, Zenith in the compound just off to the east of that, and then off to the north they've got Inquisition pushing in on foot in the hillside. So Lost Reality in a little bit of trouble here. Alo, here's where we spotted him. He's now been joined by Penta. They did lose Kurt, but they will get their revengeance. Metal Gear Solid Revengeance onto Zealot.
Love it.
And now, ooh, look at this. Actually, Ascendant's in a little bit more trouble here as they're getting shot. I think that's Maji getting shot from the north side by Sonics. Sonics are on the hill up there. Could have been Sonics, could have been Fabled. Not sure where the shots came from, but looks like he's going to try to go for this res while SDK is going to push it.
And what's left of Lost Reality driving a bit close there from Spicy Fish, but it looks like they found themselves a bit of some open field, but just in the nick of time getting out of there. And I say that Balefrost absolutely denying from the position in the compound just past that. So, I mean, you can't even really play this forest. Oath is going to see you here, and that's just showing how difficult this circle is going to be and how blessed they are. But shoot to kill, I mean, they really can't seem to get rid of Ascendants here.
They really can. This is the fight that they wanted. This is the fight they pushed into. And they've already found one. Now it's going to be Alo and Penta just trying to clear out that last remaining member of Ascendants in Maji. Maji proven to be a little bit of a tough nut to crack here as he's going to find his way out of there. Oh, no, Alo, you are flaming, sir. And that's going to be him going down. They're going to have to stop this push as Penta has to go for this res. Maji, he was running away. He's now turned around, though. He might want this one as Inquisition is going to crash onto the Spicy Fish compound. They're playing the walls on the outside, but the grenades doing work there from Roth. He'll find one. Caden's going to go down as well. Penta does find Maji in the end, so that will be Ascendance out. Tommel and Fudge basically just trying to do whatever they can to hold both angles to make sure that Spicy Fish don't push them here. But the problem is they can't go for these reses either. And there you go, Sharp Shot. We'll find the good angle. We'll get the knock on to Tommel.
This could be
Fudge
good.
getting taken low as the nade finishes off Caden. Fudge the last one up. He's hiding in the smokes. He's hiding around the cars. It's not going to be enough. Spicy Fish cleaning it up.
A really great display of dominance. But while all this was going on, you started to have a bit of a peek from Zenith that could an opportunity hit. They wanted to push it to the side of that compound, but instead held back just a bit. Meanwhile, up on the hills, we're starting to see this wrap coming in from Sonics. But this compound with 4F, this is kind of, we talked about playing out in a bowl. They've got coverage, but Sonics can't really stay up on this lid for too long. They've got to commit to the push, and that's exactly what's coming out right now.
Okay, Sonics pushing right into 4F, and Zampa has already gone down. You can see the damage has been done on show, but he's not enough to get the knock as the grenades are just going to keep coming through. 4F just going to have to hide in the corners and try to avoid that incoming damage. Another one will come through. Greg Shot will get taken down by half. Tiggleton spot out STK third party from range. That'll pop Penta's head down a little bit, but look at this. You can see it on your mini map. STK actually wants this. They're coming in and pushing onto it as Penta is going to find, H1 goes down to his own grenade after he gets knocked by Greg Shot. Well timed there by Afromaniac. Shrimzy just hiding through the smokes. Tiggleton take a little bit of flash damage himself, and this is taking too long for Sonics here, and STK is in a perfect position to do some third party through the smoke. Penta getting the knock with the grenade, and here it comes, the push. Shrimzy down to about a half HP. Afromaniacs realizing that the situation is going in their favor, but they don't want to leave just yet. Oh no, Leda has been spotted out. The eyes on Penta, just too good, but he doesn't see Tiggleton right underneath him. He was scoped in. Shrimzy gets downed and flushed by Free Me Please. Tig, the last remaining member up for Sonics. He'll try to do something, but it's not going to happen. Afromaniacs hold the compound, losing only one.
I mean, losing light shows something that you really hate to see, but I mean, quick thinking by Tickleton there. The moment that shoot to kill started, the third party, as the shots came out from Penta, he just immediately broke away, scoped in, took care of the threat, and turned the attention back. But unfortunately, just didn't quite have the angles to get enough of the players without really being seen by the rest. But now, as the circle's getting ready to close, we can see Oath. Who had actually sent some up north to try to figure out what had been going on in those compounds between Spicy Fists that were inevitably pushed by Zenith, are going to pull back and continue playing the south. And probably the best play here because look at the circle shift, Poro.
It's a good circle shift for Oath. Great circle shift for Veritas as well. You got to respect Oath for branching out, seeing if they can maybe third party onto some of that action that was going on over at the warehouse. Unfortunately, nothing to be seen, but they do have 2 kills in the bag already. We'll see if they can add to that lead. Fabled, meanwhile, hanging out on the southern side, just above Pachinki in the hills. They're going to find a knock on a Greg shot. Zenith is creeping around the edges of the warehouse, seeing if they can maybe do something about Spicy Fish. But look at this. STK, Alo not giving up just yet. He's going to get knocked low, but he's going to find some more damage onto the 4F boys as Super and Greg shot slowly bleed out in the cloud. Alo just going to hang out in the street because why not?
I mean, that should be a 2 extra points, but I don't think it's going to get much further than this as Hax has spotted him out. A couple shots from the mini, but ooh, a bit of help there from Balefrost, who's actually going to push Fabled back just a bit, but no, it doesn't matter. Sneak attacks got Alo. That's it for shoot to kill. But the rest of 4F, well, still got to get in the zone as well. It was like Super and just about done bleeding out there.
I think 4F actually tries to go for the reses. They realize they're not going to be able to get it onto Super, so just getting the one on Greg shot and then proceeding to make their way in as the blue pushes behind them. Fabled looked like they were looking over in that direction. Simply Matt making this rotation right into Oath with about 10 HP. He's got to be a little bit careful there. You can see Oath still looking off towards the north, but ooh, good angle from Jazza. Will force Kickstart to back down. And Oath finding angles on a lot of different teams here. Is Uncivil the last one up for Spicy Fish? I think he might be. As Zenith has done a pretty good job of cleaning this up.
I mean, I was a little bit weary at first that Zenith didn't push right away onto that fight from Spicy Fish, but it looks like it really hasn't mattered much. They've only picked up 1 point from it, so a lot of the damage onto Spicy Fish has come elsewhere. But you can see that right now they've pretty much trapped Civ, putting that car in front of the door. There's nowhere he can go from here. So a few throwables in the windows, and that should be it for Civ. As you can see, here comes the Molotovs, and Nate actually is going to come out, but oh, there you go. The door's thrown out. There's nowhere for Civ to go, though. He's done.
He is going to be one well-baked Spicy Fish. Although, well, he's found a little spot on top of the drums here. Should stay alive for right now. It's more just being a pain in the butt than anything. And yep, there you go. That'll eventually get cleaned up, and it's going to go into the pocket of Shinboy. Spicy Fish does go down in 8th place, but they did manage to pick up a nice little handful of points here. We see Dodge now trying to do the same thing to Elusive, clean them out of this spot they've been hiding in. Molotov will do some damage onto Fizzle. You can see him burning down. Does he get out of it in time? No, he does not. So that will be him going down. Morin's just holding the angle right now. He's going to spot Lamp. Good shooting. Good pre-file from Morin's. Not going to be able to get the flush. And there you go. Cleaned up well by Dodge. They should be able to get this res onto Lamp. Or can they actually? I think the blue... Is the blue going to push right onto him? Nope, blue's not moving yet.
They're on the slow side of the blue as well, so they should have time to recover from that. But, you know, it's the teams right now kind of out on the quicker sides. They've got to make a move, and you've got 2 right here, 300 and what's left of Fabled Sneak Attack that continue to push in. But now let's go back over to the north again. Dodge have eyes, but looks like they're going to be punished for it just a bit by Zenith as it got a little bit too close. You can see Oath just out there into the distance. So Zenith without a vehicle, and it looks like Lampalot getting both Punich and Shinboy down.
Dodge having a hell of a day so far, as they have picked up 9 kills already here. That's going to be it for Fabled. They go out. Zenith in some trouble now as they've been pinned down by a combination of Dodge and some throwables from Oath. Oath with 3 kills. They managed to get the res onto Snakers, who had previously been knocked. Dodge looking to add to their total here with some well-placed grenades. That might be the one to do it, as it falls right on top of Vegas. Yes, it will. And there goes Zenith, cleaned out. Finna might have spotted Bale off in the distance. And for their part, Veritas actually kind of letting Dodge do whatever they want over here for the time being.
I mean, Hickerman really watching that tree as well, trying to wait for the peak coming out from Balefrost. But my big fear right now for Dodge is if they get a little too tunnel vision and what's happening in the east, they're going to forget what's happening to the west. But it looks like that's exactly what was going through their mind now as Finna scoping in, has spotted Jazza. Nice hits there.
Oh,
He's
his
going to
shot
connect
is
some of that
on.
damage, but it's traded back out. See Michael getting 30 hits, 30 damages, excuse me, of a hit onto him as well. And so this 3v4 here between these three squads. Circle pretty much centered on all of them, but we still got a couple phases going forward. This next circle shift could really make or break for one of these squads, Boro.
You can see on your leaderboard there how important this game is going to be to all these teams. Dodge currently in third place. This could make them breathe a little bit easier as we play out the rest of the last three games. Oath and Veritas, meanwhile, they're still fighting. They are right in the middle of the fight to make that top 8. Oath just barely inside the cut line right now. They've got 4 kills already. They've got 4 alive here. If this win would be huge for them. Veritas, meanwhile, they're chasing from 10th place. And I gotta say, last game before we had our technical difficulties, Veritas looked like they were in a fantastic position to try to get the win. I'm not sure how they ended up going down. We didn't get a chance to see it, but they've got to be kicking themselves a little bit. Now they find themselves in another top 3 situation. So this has to be a little bit of a pressure put onto them, especially knowing that they're in 10th place right now.
And I really like the patience that's coming out from all of these three teams. There's no reason that any of them really need to move from their position just yet. Not until the blue kind of pushes them into each other. And Oath and Dodge right now in a good spot. It's kind of Veritas that's just creeping up on the edge. As you can see, the closer they get in the zone and in the sights of Relo. But it is a bit kind of hard to play this area. There's not a whole lot
Mm.
of coverage aside from these trees. You got a little bit of variance in the dips, but otherwise, I think by phase 8, everybody should pretty much be on top of each other. It is a crate though to Veritas, so they're going to be able to pick out a couple of some fresh armor, some helmets, some vests to clean up what was already damaged previously. But otherwise, I mean, it's just going to be a waiting game to see where phase 8 pushes everybody in and where that next fight might pop out.
Yep. Oath seem to be probably in the best position right now. I mean, they've got a lot of control, a lot of lines of sight onto pretty much everything right now. They've pinned down both teams as far as information about where they are. Dodge, for their part, they're pretty much just stuck there on the north side. They can't really spread out, can't really do much of anything for fear of Oath and Veritas. And Veritas, for their part, they've got to get inside the circle. They do have vehicles, which is going to be a huge help. As they will provide a little bit of mobile cover for them as they set up for this late game. But once again, everybody kind of working these edges, and you can see just by just looking at the game what is awaiting all of these teams in the middle of the circle. It's nothing but plain open high ground, so nobody really wanting to have to push that just yet. We'll see what the utility is looking like for everybody as they go through, but right now it's just a bunch of casual shot trading back and forth.
And it looks like it's still a decent amount of utility, but like Dietrich's sitting on 6 smokes right now. And if I was them, I would hold on to it as long as they
Oh,
can
look at
because
Oath.
it looks like Oath is tired of waiting. They're going to send Reload down to the base of that hill because when the circle shifts, more than likely Veritas is going to lose what little bit of coverage they have. And this could be a strong proof to play. But as
Oh,
Jazza,
Jazza.
it's got to see him. This is going to be the biggest hope for Veritas. If Veritas can spot out Reload here, then that will be a big win and help to potentially carry them through to the end.
This is absolutely huge right now. This whole thing, it feels like, is hinging on Jazza and the low flankers from Oath, whether it be Relo or Kickstart. Because the first knock that comes in, you can look at Dodge. They're already creeping towards Oath. The second that knock comes in, Dodge is going to just crash down like a wave onto the back 2 of Oath. Veritas, meanwhile, going to lay down the smokes, try to work around that. Snaker's going to feed that information over, but look at this. Finna has come right up over the top. Unfortunately for Oath, they are taking kind of a long time in this push, and that's really opened the door for Dodge to make their move and kind of push in a little bit here. Finna gonna
And
spot
typically
out.
as well,
Ooh,
we see when one of these teams does engage, you'll see the rest of the team kind of turn their backs back around to try and help out. So depending on who engages into Oath first, that could be an opportunity for the others. So if Dodge takes the team to the north first, we might see Kickstart and Reload get a little bit distracted, and that would be a good opener for Veritas. On the flip side, if Veritas really be the first one here between Oath and that's the dinner bell that Dodge needs to make that play. But even still, with Phase 8 closing in, we're really seeing teams be careful to creep right now. Nobody is taking any sudden chances, any sudden movements onto this.
there's a number of. I think that's at least two MK14s out on the field too, and that is a dangerous weapon. As we see Michael holding the AUG for the Veritas boys. Looks like all chess moves have been countered appropriately up until this point, but as he said, we're down to phase 8. The circle is closing. We're going to get to phase 9, and it is going to all hit the fan extremely quickly as we see Oath kind of regrouping here. I think Snakers spotted out the movement from Dodge. And now you fed that information back over to Kickstart and Reload, let them know, like, hey, these guys are coming right over the top of us. They're on our doorsteps. We can't really afford to do the full push into Veritas. So while Veritas continues to just bleed smokes right now, here come the throwables from Dodge. The initial barrage coming through. Not going to find anything just yet. Now, D-Treats will take the shots over here as Veritas starting to creep a little bit closer. And there you go.
Ooh.
Snakers will find that opening knock with that MK14. Michael still has grenades in hand. He's got one. That's not going to find a spot. The second one, going right back to the same place. Again, not going to find anything as Balefrost kind of hanging out in that smoke zone right now. Relo just running around. Dodge, for their part, still waiting, hoping that maybe Veritas gets a knock onto Oath here that they could third party, but it just has not come through yet.
No, in fact, if anything, Oath really doing a number here onto Veritas as you see Michael goes down and his clutch as well as D-Treats. But Hickerman is tired of waiting. Is find a knock there onto Kickstart. And that has kind of split the attention now of Oath as they realize that they are really being cascaded on in every direction. Dodge still holding onto the high ground, curious about these smokes, looking for Snakers in the area. But you still got Jazza up as well for Veritas. They can't be a little too loose with their south.
Dodge doing a good job of putting these smokes down and holding their ridgeline position. Oath does get the res off in the late game, which is surprising to say the least. Hickerman will find Snakers making his run from the rock. He's going to spot him out, finishes him off. Clean stuff from Hickerman as Dodge and the boys start to move their smoke line a little bit closer. They're right on the ridge now. They're playing the edges, not seeing anything just yet. Veritas has been cleaned up, so it's just the 3v3 Relo and the Oath versus Dodge. Kickstart will find Finna. He's going to find two. Good play from Relo and Kickstart coming around the outside. They find the edge of the smoke and catch them not looking. Lampalot will trade one back, but it's not going to be enough. Kickstart clutches it out for Oath.
This was a win that Oath needed, but kudos to Dodge for all of the work that they put in for that match as well. And a great way to round out the Erangel games that we've had today for a lot of those teams that needed to put down points. Again, this is the last day to qualify for the finals, and only the top 8 are going to move forward.
Absolutely. That's going to be our 3 Erangel games done and dusted. Speaking of dust, we're about to head over to the sandy hills of Miramar, but what a strong performance there by Oath. I mean, they had great compound, obviously. I mean, they got the hard shift that went in their direction, which obviously, that plays some part in it. But the fact that they were being very proactive about how they played from there, sending the 2 up to those hills very, very early, trying to see if they could do any third partying, and just kind of playing from that edge, very clean. And that was a nail biting end right there. I mean, Veritas, Dodge, all playing that extremely, extremely well. So it's about as close as you're ever going to see right there, Clover.
Absolutely. I mean, we talked about during that game, right? All teams for what 3 phases, really just holding on to the edge and not giving any of them really any opportunity to get some knocks there until the absolute very end. And that res coming out from Dodge or Oath, while not necessarily needed, definitely helped keep, I think, not only the confidence but the numbers strong for that final push into Dodge there at the end. So well played by both of them. But as you said, we're going to Miramar here in just a moment.
Yes, ma'am. And we are going to take a break. Before we do, I know we're spoiling you by you getting to see an end game here, but now we are going to send it over to our breaks to see while we. Oh, God, I just tripped over all of my words trying to throw that. But hey, we're gonna come back. When we come back, we'll have 3 games of Miramar for you. Hopefully, we'll see all of them. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Well, hey, everybody, we are back once again. That is 3 games down and dusted, and we are about to head over to Miramar for our final 3 games of the day. But let's take a look at the leaderboard because that is what is important right now. Dodge coming out on top in points from that game after another big 13 kill performance for them.
A very fantastic game for them. I mean, their positioning throughout that whole map, they were very proactive. They were constantly moving around. They'd be in an area. Okay, this area is good. Moved on, look for other scoring chances, and then kind of move back on the flow. They played not only the teams around them, but the circle that was at hand. And this is kind of an evolution of style that we're starting to see from them. They're not just really the team that plays on the edge and sends it. They really seem like they've got choices behind them. And that's why we're starting to see them at the top of each and every one of these leaderboards. Veritas as well, up at the top yet again. And Oath with the chicken dinner, 19 points, but only 9 kills. So it's going to fall second to Dodge on this game.
Only 9 kills.
Only.
Feels bad, man. Well, that is still a big game for Oath. Big game for Dodge. Dodge has been playing out of their minds today. But let's take a look at the overall leaderboard, see what that leaves everybody after that is said and done. And Spicy Fish now in the top spot. They have 108 total points. They have overtaken the Gas Cans. Dodge shoot to kill right behind there with 89 and 81. Oath in the top 5 now as well, even more secure in the top 5. Sonics, what's been going on, man? They are slip sliding away down this leaderboard.
Yeah, and 70 points is nothing to scoff at, but they haven't really done anything in terms of today. The very first match, it was just a series of unfortunate events that lost them all but Shrimsy. Tiggleton, kind of has been falling early for the first 2 games. And then the last one, everybody else kind of fell, and it was just Tiggleton up at the end. So they have managed to score 9 points this far today, but you really want to see more from them. Going on to Miramar is going to be kind of a question: is the change of the map going to change things up for them mentally? But I mean, Poro right now as well, we're looking at the cutoff right now. It is 66 points for
Hmm.
eighth place, and we've still got 3 more games to go. We talked about what we thought that score might be, and I think this could be a potential to be a high scoring if we're seeing Sonics down this low right now.
And time is starting to slip away as well for some of these teams that are chasing. Veritas, 300 Ascendants, all having decent days so far. Nothing terrible, but they've got work left to do if they're going to try to make that climb. Not to mention the fact that they're not just fighting the people that are in that top 8 spot, but they're fighting each other as they're all kind of right on top of each other. On the right side of the leaderboard, we see a few teams that still have a shot at making that top 16, which would then be putting them into the group stages for the PCS 4 group stages so they could avoid having to deal with going through the qualifying process. So, uh, man, hardships just not finding anything going their way at all this weekend. Yeah, I really hate to see it. Elusive, Cozy Crew, Lost Reality, all kind of, in the same boat, but there's still time. There's still time. There's still 3 games on Miramar to try to make a run there.
Yeah, and I feel like Miramar could be the place that we see Houston Hardships have a better chance at, especially since they're not going to really be fighting out Rumblers for some of that territory that was, I think, kind of hurting them
Mm,
previously. But that said, Poro, I think I heard that the plane might be
let's
ready. Players are ready to
go.
land, and this is a good flight path. I mean, I just like seeing the islands touch it, but I like it when we can kind of break away a bit from the south. Maybe we'll get something up to the north, some fun action in Cabrera, Oasis, even water treatment.
You people and your island circles, man.
Paper Thin got one, and if Paper Thin can get one, then anything is possible. Okay,
God, they're the worst. I don't know how many times I got to tell you guys they're the absolute worst. It's
I'll learn the
it's
hard way.
very exciting for the first 10 minutes, and then it's just 25 minutes of bleh, like the absolute worst. I mean, what I really want the prison circle. I want the prison island circle. I haven't seen anything go
Ooh, Minas del Sur.
farther. Yeah, I haven't seen anything like the farthest west I've seen it go on that island is that one compound just to the west of Los Higos. That's the farthest west I've ever seen it. I want to see the prison get involved. I want to see that terrain get in play. I think it would be exciting. But you know what? I would also go for another Oasis circle. I've been loving those Oasis circles lately.
I think that we've seen so many circles go out to the north. It's definitely been something that's exciting to see, and a big reason why we're seeing teams continue to loot and drop north, as you can see just how colorful it is. And it is not going to be Oasis. It's not going to be Island, but this is a nice little area to play from, and that actually puts most of the teams in a decent spot for first phase.
Not too shabby, for sure. We'll have to keep an eye on Zenith, Spicy Fish right in the middle there as well. 300. Checking around San Martin. Zenith is cruising down to the south here a little bit, so it looks like they've opted to try to make their way Off to looting territory. Here's Hello Senpai. Just gonna, well, I got to stop myself because I want to say what I say in pubs whenever you take the adrenaline shot, but I can't say that on stream. So definitely checking myself here. But either way, he's going to be running very, very fast. Here's Hacks. We'll spot out Light Show. Light Show going to avoid those shots for right now. But for the most part, it seems most of these teams have done a good job of avoiding each other on these car drops, at least.
Definitely a lot better than how it's been on Erangel. I think each and every Erangel match, we had one or two casualties just there in the very beginning in the fights for cars. So Miramar, a bit of a larger island, more space for teams to kind of have a breather here on that first phase. But Poro, when we have a circle like this, I
Hmm.
think we've talked about it before, where it's either going to be really boring, nobody's going to really engage themselves
Yep.
until the mid to late game, or we might have a couple teams bunch up in or around an area if they all try to play for center. Center for this zone is Power Grid. Zenith right now hanging out there, but we've sometimes seen teams try to crash that northern compounds up there in Power Grid, or even play from the hillside to the south. And so it's going to be interesting to me to see if early on we're going to see a challenge for that position, or if everybody's going to kind of leave it to Zenith, let them have that spot.
Yeah, anytime you see these circles that are 100% playable off the first get, it's pretty much guaranteed to be slow, 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 because it is going to be a lot of information gathering. As well, this is the other thing you have to worry about when you see this much playable area in first circle. You see a lot of wide splits coming out on the drop, and now in Civil, going to be finding himself a little bit separated as 300. That is a team that knows somebody is here. They are moving as three. They are crashing as three. They know somebody is in here, and they are not going to give up until they find him. Uncivil will take the first shots, though. Not going to be enough to get a knock, but boy, he did some damage on the Vox and head kick, though.
And he does have an exit strategy with this door. And it looks like now he's going to play the ridgelines. He tries to make a run for it. His teammates are starting to head to the areas we can see on the minimap. Both Keenan and Sharpshot working their way to try to provide some cover fire and also some pressure to keep 300 from peeking over that ridgeline. And here you've got it now. This is a 3v300 here as Spicy Fish are not going to leave this alone just yet.
I like it. I like it. Nicely done. Keenan going to be providing some support from long range there with the mini as Uncivil and Sharpshot try to make play along the walls here. Keenan does need to be careful, though. He is kind of out on an island. He'll take a little bit of damage. No vest as well for Keenan. So Spicy Fish a little bit poverty as they try to make a push in here as two. I'm not sure if they know where Nefahor is. They might know now, as that was some decent AK shots coming out. Not going to find anything, though. Sharpshot will spot him, and that's going to be him backing back off of this as he realizes they do not have them as pinched as they once previously thought that they might.
No, pulling back is the thing that I really like from Spicy Fish right now. They know when to take a fight, and they know when it's time to kind of give up. So to have this as a successful rescue mission onto Civ is already great to see. You can see Keenan kind of coming back down, and
That's a
where
win
they're going to go
for
for it.
sure.
I'm curious now. Ross already scouting some potential places to put down up ahead. So let's see what goes from here. But I mean, like you talked about a moment ago, this is 100% playable circle. So there's no real reason to take some of these fights early on, because that also means that there's so many compounds that they can play from here.
Whoop. Simply Matt will land the first shot on that one. I'll let Mitchie know that maybe not the safest time to repeak that same angle, but hey, let's do it again. Why not? Well, that wouldn't be Mitchie if he didn't repeak the exact same angle after taking a shot right to the friggin' face. Meanwhile, Malouk gonna land some damage onto Keenan as Spicy Fish getting spotted out in their rotation. And oh, that's not the car you want to be driving. As Vegas, I think that might have just been pressuring fire from Zenith just to make sure that Vegas is able to get out of there clean. And it will do its job. Works just fine as we see Vegas going and joining the boys. You do see Sonics also roaming around down there to the south. Meanwhile, STK boys scattered like ants below the feet of Oath, although it does not look like Relo has found a line of sight onto this. It does look like he knows that there are teams off to his east, or players off to his east, rather. Balefrost going to come over and see if he can find a line, and indeed he does. We'll find a few shots down onto Penta. Only one going to land.
Yeah, I mean, really great communication from Oath as you can kind of see them really restructure for the snipe. Snakers also is going to pull back and reload, trying to see if he can parkour himself up the top of this mountain, maybe get some scale and get a good angle. But this could be all for naught, as it looks like Shoot to Kill is going to go ahead and start to pull back from this area and look for another place to play from. But again, we're only in phase one. We've got all the
Mhm.
time in the world for these teams to engage, and you can see even at range, Purdy Curdy spotted out Lost Reality.
Yeah, I think
Oh, Relo.
oh, it's always Kurt, isn't it? It just always seems like it's Kurt. Relo, the you say a
Oh, is
gracious
Alo trying to do
God.
this exact same thing? Does he know he's up there?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, he knows now.
Oh, how? Mm. That's a barrel. He's dead. But
Oh
fortunately for
no.
Alo, he lives to fight again. The rest of Oath, I think, is getting pushed by Inquisition right now. So Relo kind of drawn in multiple directions. You can see Fudge and Caden right on the side of this ridge line as well. Kickstart might have spotted out Fudge. Snakers just looking at the ridge line, trying to see if any heads pop over the top. I think is somebody else shooting. Oh, okay, that's Kickstart. Kickstart actually finding some long range shots onto the other duo from Inquisition, who's working just off to the east here.
Yeah, additionally as well, I think Lost Reality might have had some sight onto Reload, that position he had up on the rocks. There was some long range shooting out across, but nothing that was quite connecting. And so you can see it's actually pushed STK back down to the compounds. And there you go. You can see those tracers coming out from Lost Reality as they're keeping that pressure onto Reload, which is a little bit of help here for the Shoot to Kill boys. I mean, had Inquisition not come and rotated into Oath at the exact moment, I think that this fight between Oath and STK could have popped off a little bit better. But, sometimes things like that happen, especially as teams really try to get themselves as centered as possible here.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is pretty much playing out the exact way we thought it would, as the Circle 1 is finally collapsing. Still 64 alive. Nobody knocked or flushed just yet. Just a lot of shot trading back and forth as teams decide how they want to play this. The predominant feature in this circle, uh, I guess, I think is the road going from east to west, just south of San Martin. A lot of teams deciding whether they want to play north or south of this, depending on where this next circle cuts. There's definitely some stronger positions than others. As if it does go north of San Martin, Lost Reality, Cozy, Fabled, all looking in fantastic position. But if it goes south, like it seems a lot of our top teams seem to be thinking it will, we'll be looking at a power grid circle. Where is it going to go?
Oh, all
It's
right.
going to go north. All right.
Not too bad for everybody in Powder Grid. Those Zenith who did initially pull out of that position, kind of give up that dominant spot. But back at the fight at hand now. Houston Hardships Veritas right now is trying to make the push. Loeb's actually getting right into Jazz's face. Is going to find the knock, but you can see some of these Molotov fires still lingering. They've got to be a bit careful. Too hard on this extend push. But the rest of Veritas is going to go ahead and make a push for the zone. Leave this all to Houston. So while Houston kind of looked for that scoring chance, looked for that opportunity, they're only going to get one off of it, and thus kind of continues the troubles that they've really been finding in terms of scoring.
Well, when you're in dead last, 1 point is definitely something you will take, regardless of how you get it. Sonics, meanwhile, still kind of hanging around on the south side of Power Grid right here on the south side of this new circle. They've got a team inside of Power Grid. I think that's Spicy. Yeah, Spicy Fish spread out throughout the entirety of Power Grid, kind of holding that down. Meanwhile, this ridge line, Inquisition, still hanging out just below Oath. It looks like Relo might have got spotted out from his high ground position. And he's just going to go ahead and play it low for right now and see if everybody forgets about him for a while. I think it might be the play. As Bale and Kickstart come from the side, they're going to find a little bit of an angle, do a little bit of damage. But all this going on inside a circle, nobody really to their east, south, or north that they have to worry about. So that can take some time to play out. Meanwhile, here you go, Hardshifts on the move once again. They're going to be gutting through Montenuevo. Wouldn't be surprised to see them continue this wrap all the way up towards El Pozo, following in the footsteps of Elusive, who are making their entrance into El Pozo right now.
I mean, there's so much free space here on the West. So for elusive and hardships to take these long wraps, it works. But you do got to keep in mind that some of the playable area that is available to the West are those big open fields that right now Ascendance is in. So even if they keep these wraps, those rotations, we're more than likely wherever they're going to end up is going to be on top of another squad. So they've got to be ready to fight as we move forward, going into phase 3 as phase 2 wraps up. But Oath still from the high ground taking shots now at Inquisition, who has finally pulled back down from this spot. So Oath can continue playing the E, something that they've really been striving and comfortable for so far for this region, or for this event, excuse me. But it looks like Balefrost might have blown out a tire. Fudge lost control, but they're going to continue on. No real damage connecting to any of the players on Inquisition yet.
Yeah, I think this is definitely the right play for Inquisition. Although the Southern Wrap, I get it. I understand why you're probably thinking San Martin, all those areas around that are going to be pretty filled up. But taking the Southern Wrap, probably not the best in this particular case. But I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. This Shimboy, he's going to spot out somebody playing from the shack at range. He does have Michael just underneath him, but he's got Vegas with him, so they're going to be hyping each other up, trying to see if they can make these shots through the windows. D-Treat's trying to do a little bit of return damage. I need to be careful on that one, though. This is that long range shooting that we expect while we're waiting for this circle to collapse. And there you go. We're going to get the hard south shift. So we are looking at Power Grid for this end game. And that's going to be good news for Zenith, Spicy Fish, Sonics, all the teams that are basically already sitting pretty.
Yeah, I think that, early on we saw all three of these teams read the potential that this could be a power grid circle and look for that priority places to play from. Zenith actually left power grid, let Spicy Fish backfill that position, and Sonic's coming up to play that ridge on the south side. So this is kind of the three strongest positions you can have from here. Lost Reality out on the north. So for any of these teams rotating in and out, their best shot is pretty much playing the edge or challenging one of those four teams into the center as Afromaniacs start to take that transition further out into the center here. It's going to kind of surround them here by multiple teams out on the side. And it looks like, a shack, a little bit of some hillside. That's all they can really hope to play from here in this positioning, unless they choose to go ahead and maybe fight where we can see Zenith just off to the side.
Yeah, this is what I was looking at here. The little bowls just to the west of Power Grid that often see so much late game love were unoccupied. And I was thinking Afromaniacs might make a play for there. It seems like it might be a little bit early for that, but it is dead center circle. So if they can find a way to hold it as a 2-2 and don't have to worry about Spicy Fish pushing out and trying to go for the grenades and all that nonsense onto them early, then they should be fine. And it looks like Spicy Fish completely content in holding the split that they currently have. Well, Alo going to take some long-range shot from Snakers. As the Oath boys are slowly pushing in. Kickstart and Bale already making their way in. Relo and Snakers going to take advantage of this high ground while they have it. See if they can do a little bit more damage, maybe snag a kill. But while also securing a foothold inside this new circle. They do have Sonics just off to their south. And you can already see Shrimsy and Tig starting to stretch off to the north a little bit on a reconnaissance intel gathering mission. Fizzle, meanwhile, right up underneath Zealot. I think he just heard the footsies of Zealot running around, and Zealot also heard the same. Meanwhile, Hardshift's trying to make their push in from the west side, but they are running right into Veritas, and it is not working out. Chuba gets spotted out from range, and that could be the great grenade for Michael. Bounces down the hill, though. Farmer Billy try to lead up with the flashes, the flashbangs, trying to make the push uphill, but they've lost Lobes as well, and now it's just down to the J-Sank Farmer Billy push. Farmer Billy gets spotted by D-Treats from the side. Veritas had a wide split here, and Hardships were not expecting it, and Veritas just dismantling Hardships.
Heartbreaking for the Hardships, who really needed some kind of scoring chances. They're going to remain into last place, but as the circle is going to shift again, it's going to go a bit to the west of Power Grid. So Spicy Fish now finding themselves on the edge with Sonics, Oath, and Lost Reality all knocking at their door in position just to the south of that. So could be careful to see if Spicy Fish are going to condense into this compound, try to play out from that. But you can see right now Luke 12 spotting himself a Delta there for Cozy Crew.
Yep, that new circle looking pretty good for Dodge. Meanwhile, Spicy Fish on the move. They're going to connect into a 2-2 on that power grid split. Off to the north, though, there's a lot of teams that are going to be having to make their way in. Shoot to kill going to be the first ones, as they will find, well, nothing but ridges really in front of them. Although this is not a terrible spot to play as long as you get there first. But Oath is going to run right into Lost Reality, who's waiting for him. Kickstart gets picked out by Hoshi, and he is going to go down. Balefrost, oh no, it's the tree. As looks like Oath actually turning to set up for this one. Snakers got knocked a little bit low. I see Stone Storm take a few shots in that direction, not going to find anything. Lost Reality trying to set themselves up for this fight, but this is all going on outside of circle, and you can see Spicy Fist already starting to look down in that direction as well. Stone Storm will go down to a nicely placed grenade from Balefrost. No return damage has been done onto Oath just yet. Reload gets spotted out by Tio Reeks. Shots come through. Not going to be enough to get the knock just yet. The smokes are down. They're working the edges for right now. Lost Reality looks like might be trying to go for the res onto Stone Storm, but Balefrost not going to let him. He's going to find Hoshi. Immediately takes him out. 6 HP for Relo. 1 HP for Relo. He goes down. Balefrost has to stop to get the heal off as well. Snakers tries to come in from the side, do some more damage, but Lost Reality holding strong.
I mean, you saw they kind of took a little bit of a look to the west to wonder what was happening. It was this third party coming in from both Cozy Crew, but also Spicy Fish still playing from that northern complex outside of Power Grid. And so, unfortunately, Oath kind of getting themselves a bit pinched here, but smart feet now from Cozy Crews. They try to capitalize on this on their way to the zone. Mitchy Boy's still alive along with Tio Reeks, but he's going to have no choice but to leave him be, but it doesn't matter. Tetra had the angle on him, gets the knock with the barrel. And you can see still turning his attention back to Snakers, but gets knocked in the blue. That's going to be it for him.
Sucky Boy trying to do a little bit of damage back onto Oath. Spicy Fish, you can see Uncivil finding an angle onto this as well. Shinboy on the south side. It's Zenith and Sonics, and whoa, okay. That's going to be Shrimsy coming up right over the top. Maluk going to get the damage. He's going to find the knock. Shinboy's gone down on the trade. Vegas knocked very, very low, but he's going to find Zampa, and Sonics once again falling apart in the early game here. They've down to just 1, and that's going to be H-Win hiding in the blue behind the vehicle, trying to get a heal off before Maluk comes over the top and spots him. That blue is doing a little bit more than tickle as well. As you can see, he's already down to half HP before he's come out. The flashbang going to be well placed. Maluk doesn't spot him.
Oh.
Drop into his belly. Calling for help right now, but I think he might. Oh, H-Win tries to make the run, but Maluk pops up at the perfect time, and that's going to be it for Sonics going out in 11th place.
And Sonics had a bit of a fight earlier on. We were watching everything that's happening to the north. They had a battle of their own between Inquisition. And as that battle wrapped up and Sonics won that, Zenith took that as an opportunity to extend and not only gatekeep, but clean up as well. And we can see now that Power Grid has pulled away, we're going to watch Spicy Fish also make their way to the zone. But it's getting crowded here on the eastern side as we don't have a lot of compounds and coverage left into play, Poro.
Extremely rough stuff here as SDK somehow finds themselves with a 300 in between them. Alo, not sure if he's been spotted out, but we'll see if he can feed that information over. He would love to peek up over the top of this. You can see he's just kind of looking around whenever the push does come through from SDK onto 300. He's looking to see if he has to worry about getting third party from anywhere. Well, the answer is yes. You have to worry about being third party from literally everywhere because there is a ton of teams off to this northern side. Dodge, meanwhile, has a big hold over pretty much most of the western part of the map and the center of the map right now. So Dodge continuing their great play here. Sharpshot will spot out. Henta gets him low, but not enough to get the flush. He looks like he wants this. He's going to keep pushing until he can get in throwable range.
Oh, speaking of throwables, Luke 12 priming that grenade right now. It's thrown. This could be good if it gets just behind the car, but Leda had a look. I think it bounced just before the buggy. No damage taken there, but this Molotov might be just good enough to catch Leda on fire. No, they're going to fall short as well, but Civ got a headshot on the Leda, so all the pressure that Shoot to Kill's getting and him right in the range here for Spicy Fish. Just as Pent to try to wrap around, actually caught out by Civ.
This is really good proactive pushing from Spicy Fish. They left the water treatment compound, or power grid compound rather, to come and get some of these kills. But they also have to worry a little bit about Afro Freaks, who are wrapping right behind them. They're backfilling as well. Luke 12 going to spot out one. He's going to get Uncivil flushed out as 300, I believe, still has somebody up just like that. Roth, Keenan, the last two up for Spicy Fish, and they've got to send it. Well, where do you send it to? Everything is occupied. Lampalot is going to be inside the shack. He's got a grenade in hand and prepped and ready to go, but it's not going to find anything. Keenan will come up over the top, take the shots, not going to find the knock. As, oh, he runs backwards, didn't realize the grenade had been thrown, and Lampalot gets the fadeaway.
Oh, I mean, you've got to love right now what Dodge is doing. And as the circle shifts, they're still looking great in position as Halo Senpai goes to join Finna. And you can see everybody else scrambling along the edge side. 8 kills right now for Dodge, 5 of which go to Lamp.
Dodge looking like absolute world beaters in this lobby here today so far, as they still keep 4 up, and they're going to find another one there onto Alo. Lamp add to his total. Luke now the last one remaining for shoot to kill. He'll try to get a point out of it. You will find the flush onto Simply Matt. 300, meanwhile, has kept 3 alive somehow, some way, through all the different third parties, all the different pushes coming from all these different teams. 300 has managed to survive. Luke, I'll leave the smoke line ahead of him, but okay, 300. Well, they've read this one. They know what the story is. They molly the smoke. They find the kill. That is it for Luke 12, and that is it for STK, going down in 7th place.
Elusive is going to fall as well as they try to challenge Dodge out for that position, but Dodge is going to have to work hard to recover from this quickly. Fabled starting to make a move on this as well, and with 5 teams, 16 players left alive, almost everybody except for Zenith stacked up here into the north, and quick shooting coming out from 300 as they try to keep this position. Did get a knock onto Hella. Looks like Sneak Attack hasn't had an opportunity to cross the street just yet, but is going to take shots with the Mini 14. Trying to get out. Looks to be Vox there, but now he's going to have his car use this to rapid rotate. But you can see this car is badly damaged, almost out of fuel. He's not going to get very far with this. It's just going to have to be a quick send across the street.
And not much options left here for Sneak Attack. He'll get shot at going that way. Tries to break line of sight a little bit. And meanwhile, Dodge and Afro Maniacs trading shots in the middle of the circle. As you said, though, Zenith absolutely vibing on that south side. They've got a little bit of high ground. They've got a bunch of kills in their pockets already from the Sonics fight. They're coming over and seeing if they can third party onto anything. Looks like they're going to land some damage into Show. Meanwhile, that's going to be enough to keep Afromaniacs from pushing on to Dodge. And Dodge is able to escape for now. They will find Sneak Attack, but Finna will get traded and flushed there by Maluk. So Zenith having really good lines of sight onto this. Man, I didn't even think they would have been able to see him right there, but Dodge 13 kills again, double digits for the Dodge boys.
They're insane, but I mean, you get, like you said, Zenith really taking this into their own right now, sitting on 8 as well. They moved out of that power grid early on, and I was a little concerned to see how these circles were going, if that was going to be something that could work well to their advantage, but they've played the edge, they've played the south, they've used these ridge lines and these hills in their favor, and we'll see where phase 7 goes and if that's going to hurt or help them, because coming down from this ridge line with everybody in front of them could hurt. But look at that circle is going to be in their favor.
I mean, at the beginning of the day, it was a foregone conclusion, really, that Spicy Fish was going to take first place and take it comfortably after having an insane 92-point day yesterday. But Dodge, they're right behind them now. They're having just as good of a day today as Spicy Fish was having yesterday. We'll have to see what the overall points look like from what they've been able to collect. But 300, trying to see if they can do some damage.
Ooh,
oh, God, hello.
Headshots.
Eats him alive. Neverhore, the last one remaining. But every bullet that leaves the chamber for Dodge right now seems to be hitting exactly where it needs to. And they are just having the day of games of their lives right now. And look at this. When you're playing with confidence, that's the kind of push that you can make right up the side of the hill. They know that they've got one knock. The res came through. But here comes all the million throwables for Hello Senpai. Right as he peeks up over the last one catches him. Doesn't see anybody on the push. So drop another one so he can make Another look-see. Neferhord down to about half HP. He's going to do some damage, but not as much as is returned onto him. Hala Senpai making this push basically by himself. He's got cover from Lamp from range, but this is a Hala Senpai just taking the 1v2 and feeling
Ooh,
like he's got it, and he
let's
does.
go. A great play by Hellsummer, as you said. I mean, Dodge confidently taking that push after getting that knock. They wanted to clean that up, play the North, give themselves the freedom to really wrap without being punished by anybody else hanging out in this area. Now, 4F did send 2 up to kind of investigate. Greg Shot and Super wanted to see if they could get sight on this, but the moment that they extended too far, Zenith punished them, took a couple shots to that area, and that really pulled 4F back into their spot. So Zenith now sitting on 9 kills. You can see a bit of damage trade right there between Shinboy and Greg Shot. But until this circle moves, nobody really needs to go too far from their area. So we're just kind of patiently waiting to see where the circle could take them. But you could check Lamp a lot, watching the ridgeline right there, seeing if you could see a peek from the members of Zenith.
Lamp gonna take a position right behind the US. I think they know exactly where Afromaniacs are, and for their part, Afro, they've just been pinned down by Zenith. They can't make any push towards the south. So now Dodge, they're just going to get together as 3, and they're going to push right into them. Super Free Me Please. Greg Shot still up. Greg Shot down to a good grenade from Hickerman. Free Me Please going to try to trade it back. Hello Senpai not going to take it. That's 2 down. Can he get another one? Yeah, he can. 18 in the bag for Dodge as they are on a rampage.
Look at this. Shinboy not waiting at all. It's going to take a quick break, see if he can. It's actually going to switch out there. Another gun for the crate, and now push onto Dodge. The rest of Zenith not waiting any longer here, and they're going to go ahead and get that knock onto Hickerman. Try to get Halo Senpai out, but he's got to reload. Vegas picking up Halo Senpai, and so unfortunately, Hickerman flushing himself out with that nade he had, and you can see here comes the wrap from Maluk. They can find one last remaining member still up for Dodge. Lamplot, 1 HP. It's not going to take hardly anything to get him out here. No real chance to heal, as we can see more throwables coming out.
I don't even think Lampalot has a med. Okay, there he is. He does manage to get something off there. But let's see if Lampalot's got any magic left in the tank. 8 kills in the bag already for him. Maluk doesn't hear the wrap coming through. Maybe he does. He's hearing at the last minute as they play do-si-do around the rock. Lampalot will find one as Maluk goes down. He will get flushed as well. That's 9 kills now for Lampalot as Shinboy will work around one side of the rock. Lampalot works the other. There we go. He does end up going down. 12 kills and a win for Zenith. But what a performance from Dodge today. 19 kills, 2,500 damage, and they have found themselves in first place in the lobby.
I mean, Dodge has broken that damage so many times. We've seen them get 2,000 damage the previous game, 2,000 damage this game. You thought for a moment that it might have been their gain to be had. If anything, I think that extra time that they kind of spent taking that fight up to the north really didn't give them much chance to regroup safely back into the zone against 4F, and then ultimately for that push coming in from Zenith. But patience pays off. Zenith still cleaned house in that dominant position out there from the south throughout the entire of the game, and awarded them a very, very hearty chicken dinner.
Very well played by Zenith at the end there. That's definitely a tough fight to take, but immediate knock and immediate collapse. So great communication coming out from that squad. But I can't wait to see what our leaderboards are looking like after this one. We've got 2 more games. 2 more games?
Yeah, we've got plenty more Miramar.
Okay, 2 more games on Miramar to go before we figure out who the top 8 are going to be to go on and represent North America in the ESL PUBG Masters Americas Grand Final. So guys, don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Well, hey there, everybody. We are back once again. It is I, Porosaurus. It is she, Clover. And it is the ESL PUBG Masters North America group stages. 2 games left to play. The top 8 go on. Let's see what our leaderboards are looking like. Leaderboard from last game, Dodge was the big story, but Zenith gets the win. But look at the points sponged up by both of those teams.
Yeah, I've another top heavy game, and unfortunately for the rest of the teams right now that are climbing for good position, trying to get the top 8, they didn't really share a whole lot, right? Zenith, as you said, 12 kills, 19 to Dodge. Kind of had a battle from the north and south there, up through the ends, and unfortunately as well, this is kind of a second time that Dodge has gotten so close to a chicken dinner and hasn't gotten it today.
Absolutely cleaning up. Well, we did check with our stats supervisor, and Dodge got 45 points on their first day of play. So far today, through 4 games, they have 69.
Nice,
Nice. Nice. Real nice.
nice.
It's going to be good enough to put them in first place with 114 points and 2 points over Spicy Fish, who, despite getting passed today, still having a pretty good day for themselves.
Yeah, and we look at this overall view of their damage, just about to surpass. Wow, surpass. Wow, I can
Yeah,
words. You know what?
all
Words are
this.
hard today.
They're
There we
fun.
go. 15,000 damage, almost there at 14,797 versus Dodge's 13,470, and Dodge ranked 1, Spicy Fish ranked 2. In at the same time for this, I mean, it's so close. If anything, kills kind of being a bit of the break there. But I want to point back real quick while we're back on the screen. Almost everybody in B has been pushed out. Any trolls in chat, really the biggest threat right now. Again, not playing today. B played Friday and Saturday, and at 77 points, sitting there in 7th place. If
Mhm.
300, if Veritas can have 2 really good games, that's going to be it. And then Guadalajara Gaskins might be our only team in B that will move forward to the finals.
I don't think anyone would have been imagining Sonic sitting on that 8th place cut line so very, very
Mm.
close to not making it. So still 2 games remaining. Only 4 points of a lead right now as we check the 8th and ninth place right now. And it's also worth mentioning those 8th and ninth, 2 chicken dinners apiece for Sonics and 300. Day 2, though, has not been going great for either of these squads.
No, and I mean we're seeing 300 make it to the late game again, just like this last one. Unfortunately, not being able to close the deal there. But I mean, 7,222 damage, nothing to Scott at 68 points to Sonic 72. But Sonic's, I mean, they were so explosive on their first day of play, and something's not working here. And you could sit here and say, "Oh, well, it's one team, it's another," but it just seems like a series of unfortunate events are falling to them. Every game, they're falling to another team, and so there's no real one excuse for what's happening. Is they're just having a bad day. But Poro, you can't have a bad day at a tournament like this.
You certainly cannot. And they have definitely died to another team every single game so far.
I mean, a different team, a
I'm
different team.
sorry.
There we go. It's been a long day, chat. It's
It's
been a long
too
day.
easy. Too too easy, and
uh,
if anybody's gonna take the setup, it's gonna be me. I'm sorry.
Absolutely,
I'm an
absolutely. I would expect nothing less.
I am a jerk. But we are ready to get into game number 5. 6 on the table for today. 2 more remaining. Let's see if Sonics or 300 can get everything together, get their ducks all in a row, and quack them across the finish line. The finish line being that 8th place cut line. Right off the bat, you can see pretty generous plane path going across most of the map. Now, the question is, will Circle 1 be as generous as the plane path?
I mean, I don't know. You were saying you really wanted to get that prison
God,
island
I do.
plane. This is the path for it. Look at
Oh,
this. I mean, we've got teams dropping via Damar. We've got teams kind of vying for the south here. Maybe this is the one to happen. You never know.
yeah, I mean, look, don't get my dreams up. All right, don't my my hopes have been up for so many things. Most recently, hardships, having a really good day 2 and impressing everybody and proving the haters wrong. Well, that didn't happen. Those have been dashed expertly so far today, and now my dreams of a military island circle finish prison. I just can't. I can't have my dreams crashed yet again. As Puna just going to creep on out here, take a few SKS shots at a fleeing spicy fish. flapping away out of there. And no, well, that's a bigger gun taking shots at range there. Either way, that spicy fish is going to find itself well out of hot water, and the circle is going to pop up, and we are going to the northwest. See what I tell you? We're not going to get it. It's not happening ever.
But this is a circle though that does have some unplayable spot, and we've got the kind of clipped off the west, also that mesa wall on the far edge, and that means that we're not really at 100% playable. If anything, maybe I'd call this 75, 78%. But the way that teams are going to have to kind of wrap and rotate, you're either going to play the eastern edge, come up from the north, maybe even Alcantara Trailer Park, kind of hold on to that edge, wait for circle two to pop, or you're going to send it early in or around El Pozo and Montenuevo. We'll see some teams kind of look for some of those positions on the edges of those towns, as well as those tall mountaintops that we see just the east of those El Pozo circles. So dodge Spicy Fish being in prime spot for the center. In a good spot. I also see Sendits up there in La Cabrera, and who are watching Spicy Fish right now, really great spot. They don't have to
Hmm.
move necessarily, but at the same time, we might see them move out of Monte and try to take a compound nearby to play from moving forward.
Yeah, Pozo Fields feeling like it might be the high percentage chance in this one. Obviously, we shall see. Dietrich's gonna get dropped off to pick up another vehicle for himself. But either way, Veritas, long way to go here, as they are our most southern team right now. They do have elusive just off to
Oh,
Jay.
just hide a body there. It's all right.
Well, what happened?
Cool.
Oh, Michael. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Elusive. Gonna lose Jay all day to presumably Michael right off the bat. As elusive not having a fantastic weekend for themselves either, as they just barely above hard shifts right now, sitting in that 23rd position. But definitely a team that I've got my eye on. I mean, I've seen really good performances coming out of JLD Morns, Why You So Ugly, those guys in the past on different squads. So seeing them on this new squad right now, things might not be clicking so far this weekend, which is unfortunate, but it's definitely a team to keep your eye on going forward.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, we've really seen them present in fights in the mid and late games today. We've seen them actively and successfully take compounds away from other teams. But unfortunately, a couple times they'll just lose out, whether it's mechanics, whether they're just unprepared in terms of their armor or their ammo, or, for whatever the reason, things aren't quite where they need to be, as you said. And that's where we're kind of seeing them lack a bit of points. They've been getting knocks, they've been getting damaged, but some of those knocks are getting killed, and it's that cleaning up that we really need to see from this roster coming together to get that final form. But speaking of things getting a little bit dirty right now, Roth is kind of on a
Hmm.
scouting adventure in or around Pozo that, as we can see on the minimap, both Dodge and Lost Reality aren't too far out from this position.
Yeah, he just came over the top of the hill in time to see Mitchy Boy and Tio Reeks crash into that compound. And I think Spicy Fish, if they put two and two together, might realize that they have a 4v2 opportunity here. And actually, a good shot going to come through and land on Mitchy Boy. I think that might have actually, I don't know if that was from Civ or if that was from Dodge inside the compound. But either way, Spicy Fish going to be pushing in and backfilling this. And they actually want the fight, and they're going to find it as they get some good damage onto Tio, but it's not enough to get the knock.
Ooh!
Civ, the one shot will take him down, and Roth is going to push onto this now, but the rest of Lost Reality is now here to provide some support. Mitchy Boy extremely low, you can see, but this is a very, very difficult compound to push, and Spicy Fish needs to be careful
Well,
about this. They want to play this aggressively, but they could pay the price. Tio Reeks goes down to a well-placed grenade. Civ gets traded out. Now Stone Storm and Hoshi playing the ridgeline. Roth gets taken low. He's going to go down. Keenan and Sharpshot taking damage as well. The Sharpshot's going to go down now too. Keenan, the last one up. Lost Reality holding court as Spicy Fish maybe biting off a little bit more than they can chew.
And I think Spicy Fish got a little too overconfident with this play, as we saw one after another came down. And that nade by Stone Storm is going to finish it out. We saw those reses trying to come out, but as Lost Reality ticks up for it, did come at the cost of Mitchy Boy and Tio Reeks. And we can see now as well a couple extra shots coming in. Ascendance and 4F starting to descend on that compound. But now this fight between 300 and Dodge, two of the teams that we just got done talking about from the previous match, as they try to vie for this compound here in the high grounds above El Pozo.
Well, 300 desperately needs this. They cannot afford to go out this early in this game. They will find one off of Dodge and pick up Hala Senpai, but one of their own is currently knocked. Looks like the res does come through, though, so 300 back up to 4 strong. The fight will reset temporarily here as the throwables come out from Leda. Not going to find any damage on the Finn and Nefahor. Just listening for those footsteps. Lampalot has that high ground position in the church tower. But look at the wrap 300 has right now. And this is dead center of the circle. So this has all the time in the world really to play itself out.
Yeah, and for her being really careful not to take any missteps climbing up. I mean, anytime you come down from a low ground like that, not to mention a low ground up to a compound, you've got to be really careful. And you can see waiting for the rest of the teammates before the wrap comes. Later getting the opening knock onto Finna as Nefer is going to get the flush. And now 300 starting their work to clear out the compounds and see what they can take from Dodge away safely.
Good stuff from 300. Now they picked up the second kill. Shoot to kill, meanwhile, was overlooking Pozo, and they're going to find H-Win as Sonics tried to scout out on the top of the hill, but did not get eyes on everybody. Luke 12 going to mountain goat his way up a little bit higher here to see if he can maybe spot out any more. But H-Win doing a little bit of scouting for the Sonics boys, and he ends up going down immediately.
I don't know what is going on with Sonics that you really hate to see these plays happen out, especially in phase 1, where it's really going to hurt the momentum moving forward. But the best thing that they could really do is try to shake it off, regroup, and do what they can to continue forward through the rest of the day. But that said, I mean, now we've got the rest of the team starting to work their way, and Oath is going to find themselves clear on the edge, far away from anybody else nearby. And only a handful of other teams still need to work their way in from the south, with Veritas and Elusive still not yet in the zone. But that said, I mean, really kind of the way that Oath has been taking these things slower in the early game, not what we typically expect from them, but thus far it's been working just a bit. And oh no, Dodge eliminated by 300. This is exactly what 300 needed.
Huge for 300 there that they're able to pick that up and don't take a single loss on the push as well. That's going to be 4 points. That should be enough for them now to hop Sonics and be in that 8th place position. Sonics, meanwhile, have lost H-Win. They're still alive. They're still kicking from that Pozo field, from that bricks compound, which if they do get a circle shift to go down in that direction will be huge for them. But it's very, very reliant on that shift going that way. Send, meanwhile, will do a little bit of scary boy shooting, peacocking as it were, against Cozy, and well, they peacock some, but it's not going to be enough as Cozy still wanted it. Zucky boy getting real close there. Zealot almost putting him in the dirt, and this is Cozy continuing to drive by, really relying on that drive-by meta to work out in their favor. But Zraven will find Zucky boy. He's going to go down. Delta now working on the low side of the ridge. Cozy, I think they've figured out that this might be a 2-2 split, and they want this.
I mean, Nate's coming out from Delta as well. You've often called these the unpushable compounds, but this just might be what they need to get some damage onto the rest of Ascendants before the rest of the crew could cross the street and join in as the circle gets ready to shift. It is going to pull away, but still keep this compound into place. So this fight can go on a little bit longer if it needs to, but it looks like Cozy Crew might just be saying, nah, we're out of here. It's not worth it. And this is the smart play because of how hard those compounds can be to push for.
I think this is absolutely the right call here from Cozy Crew. Is look like actually Raven gonna find Delta on the escape too. I thought it was I thought 300, the pressuring fire from over the top from them was going to be enough to drop Ascendants down, but they hold the line and they will find Delta. So now that's Cozy Crew down to just 2. As oh no, Tetra's been found as well. So shots coming from all over the place. Ascendants doing a heck of a job, not only just holding their compound, but now they are hitting every single shot into the retreating Cozy Crew. As 300 Vox just kind of overlooking and Elusive.
Oh, Elusive.
Somebody's home. Relo gonna take the opening shots, not gonna find any damage, but Elusive already inside, but they are hurt already. The rest of Oath, you can see, is making the crash on top.
Good nade.
Good nade from Snakers. Good Molotov will keep them from hard crashing the stairs. That will put a pause on things and allow the rest of Oath to arrive. Why You So Ugly inside the garage compound. Fizzle. More damage done onto him again. Morns is low as well. The rest of Oath just hovering around looking for the angles, but they want to be careful on this. The worst case scenario is that you lose one for free, and Zampa gonna find kickstart on the roof. Oh no, that is gonna be an easy cleanup for Fizzle. And now Relo will spot him on the top, but won't get the knock. Relo holding the line here.
Sonic's out to the north as you saw Zampa had that hit from afar, really third parting this. You can barely even see them out in the distance. But Balefrost taking shots with the barrel is going to get a knock and flush onto Fizzle. It was traded out. Relo's down. Snakers falls down here as well. And now Balefrost, the last one, still up for Oath. Trying to figure out where is the best angle to approach and push. You can see the res is coming out by Morns onto Why You So Ugly. 5 seconds left on that res, but Balefrost not yet committing to this. Veritas also starting to third party. You could see them on the minimap just a bit. A little bit of shots up from them. Shots from the north, but Morns now getting that flush onto Relo. It's only a 2v1 here, but Balefrost not giving up just yet. Looking for an angle here on the ridgeline, but again, still being very careful from the rest of the teams nearby not to get spotted, but it actually looks like Veritas getting third party by Houston Hardshift. So as long as Balefrost doesn't get spotted by Sonics here, he should be okay on the roof.
Good damage coming there from Tig from range, and Morns read him like a book. Oh my goodness. The Molotov landing right on top of him. It's not going to be enough damage to kill him, but it's going to be enough damage to put him on notice there. Morns. Absolutely perfect Molotov. Balefrost just going to hold the top of the line right here. The less elusive. There's only so many angles he can peek from, remember, because Sonics has a bead right down onto his position. Now, the question is, does elusive know about this line of sight that Sonics has, and will they push from a awkward position and maybe take some damage from range? That would be the best case scenario for Relo in this position. Meanwhile, Hardshift's going to take up residence right next to Veritas. The shift is coming through, and it's going to go hard to the north. And there are a lot of teams on the south side that are going to have to make moves.
I mean, you called El Pozo Fields as being a potential finish for this zone, Poro, and do you think kind of there on the south, I don't think that's where we're going to see it finish, but we could see teams have to cross through this because, again, there's not a lot of coverage in here. And so with so many teams already present occupying in the city, what we might start seeing from Houston Hardshift and Veritas is either a long wrap around to the west coming in from the north, or just trying to crash El Pozo and play from that edge spot as well as we can. But they've got to act quickly. You also still have Zenith with Punage kind of out and about on the western side. It might be able to get some information. You could see his little logo there just down the street, but it looks like Veritas is not going to wait around any longer for Hardshift. They've already fought them once. They don't want to have to fight them again. And as we can see in the fields, the Sonics making their cross as well. They're met with shooting from shoot to kill. And Balefrost, meanwhile, still with this fight in Elusive. Got nowhere left to go. He was flashed. Morns is going to find the flush here. That is it for Oath. And Elusive picking up some much needed points.
Prone gamers, man. Prone gamers. Doesn't work out in that situation for Relo, and Oath goes down after trying to hold the compound as 4. Elusive doing a hell of a job on the push. Maluk gonna take some damage from D-treats from range. Veritas making their hard push. Shinboy, though, is gonna find a nice angle. Gets the Michael, gets Danny down to half. Come on, you can see Hardshift's on that ridgeline just off to in the distance there. There's a lot of action going around this particular area, just on the edge of El Pozo. All of it being overseen. There you go. Farmer Billy gonna pick up a kill onto Danny G. Punage finds an angle onto D-treats as well. Vegas through the stairs will find the kill onto D-treats with the help of Punage with the knock, as Zenith picking up 2.
And Sonics as well with a successful transition. We're going to take out the rest of Inquisition, managed to play just that little dip to the north of the El Pozo Fields, and just about everybody has made their way into zone, but Houston Hardshift continuing that pressure there onto Poonage. You remember, was on that scouting mission for Zenith earlier on as he tries to go back and rejoin the rest of her teammates. Vegas now taking a look out to the south and seeing if there was an opportunity to shoot, but I think realizing, nah, this is not really the fight we need to have just yet. And with 30 seconds left until this phase closes, we're only in phase 3, Poro, and there's only 35 players left alive. I mean, this is wild for a circle like this.
Gotta love NA PUBG, man. Early game fighting and scrapping when we're down to the final 2 games. and the top 8 is the ones that make it. Lobes taking a look-see over the top, see if they can spot out any of those Zenith boys. I think they realize that Jazza, the last player for Veritas, is in that shack, but they don't want to push it just yet. They got to figure out what to do about this Zenith issue for now. They don't want to overexpose themselves playing from the south side. Circle pops, and okay, let's get that hard southern chef. Fabled, the
Let's
only ones
go.
really going to have to move. 300, actually 300 kind of in a tough spot here as well. They've got to move, but the entire north side of El Pozo, as far as compounds buildings are concerned, all occupied. So 300 definitely, I hope they've been scouting and have figured out where they want to go, because it is going to be rough.
I mean, yeah, if they hold the edge along the blue side there for the West, they could take a wide wrap back towards the arena into El Pozo and try to walk in from the edge that way. But you've also got Elusive all the way down to the south. They've got to cross the Pozo fields, go through Hardships, through Veritas, or if they go to the east, go through Sonics and Fabled over here. And you can see Shrimpsy's been keeping an eye out to the south, keeping an eye on the Houston Hardships as well, as we take a couple more shots out in that area. But only sitting on 3 kills, Sonics want to make that climb back up towards first.
I mean, they need to. They need to make a climb towards anywhere, because right now they're holding it down in the 8th place spot. They're fighting 300. They've still got 2 points of a lead onto 300. As we see the gang get into vehicles, where are they going to go, though? Ascendant's most likely spot, but looks like you can see on the minimap 300 actually going to wrap around more towards this western side, which means they might run into Afromaniacs, who I consistently want to call the Scuff to Freak of Freaks, just because their logo looks so similar and they sound the same. So I've been doing a really good job. I have to say it out loud, though, because I was about to do it unintentionally. So here we go. 300 do find a way to get inside. So good scouting work done on the part of that squad. 5 kills already, and now they just have to fight their way through Pozo.
Yeah. And I mean, a city game definitely is going to change the pace of things here, as we can see teams keeping an eye on the edge, but are soon going to have to turn their attention inward. Fabled, one of the last still not into the city. They're going to have to come down from the mountains eventually, but they've been shot at by just about everybody inside all of these buildings. So you've got to wonder what state their cars are in and what their smoke situation is going to look like, because coming down from that hillside to try to come to this areas, you can see just how many teams are in all of these buildings. It's going to be a hard go for them if the circle pulls away into zone 5 and away from them. But typically, I think when we see this much city in it, we know this is going to go urban for Poro.
Yeah, this is setting up for something brutal here, but Sonics still have a shot here if this thing does cut down to the southwest, which it has done in the past. Hardships as well, having that high ground, haven't had to commit to making their way inside the city just yet. Fabled hanging out on the north side, still not wanting to send it completely into the city, which is probably good for them, because SDK has probably the widest split you'll ever see on the very eastern end of El Pozo, trying to hang out in the dead center. Where's it going to go? Okay, there you go. That's kind of what we were looking at, where it's going to have a good percentage of El Pozo still in it, but those cliffs down to the southwest are still involved. And as well as Sonic's spot, really. They don't have to move just yet. They just have to clear out whatever's left in the fields, which in this case would just be Morns.
Yeah, I mean, Morn's really lucky, doesn't have to move his prone position to hanging out as a field rat. But Fabled also needing to work their way in. But it's this fight right now between 300. They've got Ascendance and 4F ahead of them, right? And we saw them be able to successfully come down the ridgeline once already, take these buildings, but up ahead of them, there's not really too much that's unoccupied. It's going to have to be a crash, and one that they hope not to lose too much from. As we've talked about, 300 right now sitting in 9th place with 73 points, 2 behind Sonics. There's 75. If they can get a couple more kills, late game performance, maybe even a chicken dinner, that could be huge for them. And Fabled, luckily, is going to be able to come down the hills, but it looks like Alo gigs up Hella, takes out Sneak Attack. Can he get another?
Ooh, Fabled had nowhere to go, and I was a little bit worried about the widespread from STK here, knowing that eventually they were going to get crashed from somewhere. And no, what? Simply Matt? What?
You got to lock your doors, Alo.
Alo, lock your doors, change your pants too, because you gotta have it scared out of you right
Change
there.
my pants. That
I
scared
mean,
me.
geez, how does Simply Matt lose that? I don't know.
Ooh.
300. Meanwhile, I was a little bit nervous about them hopping in the vehicles and making this long ramp around, considering how packed this western side of the circle is. But they do manage to get away with it. Only one knock coming through, and they will get that res. Hoshi will be
Ooh,
taking some
Hoshi.
shots through the smoke, maybe.
Oh, that's a good angle if
Stone
that
Storm
smoke
wants it.
clears. Let's go, Stone.
That's an easy knock with that Groza Vox. Will be the first one to go down. Stone Storm definitely opening some eyes for some players around here. Well, I mean, I think the scene has known Stone Storm is a damn good player for quite some time. I think now some of the fans might be starting to figure it out as well, as he has been doing a hell of a job for Lost Reality. 300. Meanwhile, do manage to get 3 into the arena. And see what they can do from here. Shoot to kill, meanwhile, still has 4 up. They had Kurt go and do a little scouting job on the care package. He doesn't like the AUG. He's going to go ahead and leave it. I think they've got to know Sonics is underneath them. If not Sonics, then they've got to know at least some team is going to be playing that low ground position, because it always gets played.
Yeah, and I think a big problem for them as well, for the teams that kind of want to handle Sonics but don't get too close, is that the closer you extend yourself, the closer you get yourself into range for Houston Hardships, who have been really quick to take shots at anybody that they can catch on the peak. But speaking of quick to take shots and on the peak here, 4F onto Ascendance. Unfortunately, Ascendance is going to run over one of their own. Zealot gets knocked, and as the circle shifts back onto El Pozo, so we're pulling away from these fields. That makes the fight for these positions all the more important, as Zenith actually is going to get the flush there onto Ascendance.
Ascendance was kind of in the same position the 300 was, and they decided to try to send it right into the middle of the circle, and they pay the price. 300 instead opting to go for the wrap. They'll get some damage onto Lost Reality, who's wrapped all the way back down to the south. We see the circle centering up on everything here. Head kick. Oh! Head kick going to do some damage, but super going to put him back down, as Afromaniacs doing a heck of a job controlling the western side of this circle right now.
And Houston Hardships eliminated now. Zenith and LR Lost Reality have pretty much control of the South, especially as 300 works to recover from the fight. But that said, Stone Storm once again finding another angle here, getting shots onto Vegas, getting him down to half HP. The push keeps coming, and Sonics now having to deal with shoot to kill. The fight that we've been waiting for is just Shrimsy and Tickleton still up.
Morns was doing some serious work on the Shrimsy there. The Molotov's actually going to take out Tig, and it's all down to Shrimsy. As SDK, they read this perfectly. They knew there was going to be a team down here. Shrimsy is going to stay alive for a little bit longer, as Kurt will flush out Tig. Shrimsy going to try to play the other side of the smoke, get some damage in, but it's not enough. Kurt cleans it up, and SDK now with 8 kills and control of the eastern side of the circle.
I mean, you got to give a little bit of credit to Sonics. They were able to get just enough points to climb back up into 7th place, but still not the performance you want to see, especially with 300 still alive and vying to get into that top 8 position. They've managed to recover from the fight, kind of squished themselves just into the edge of zone, using what little bit of the arena is left, and ready to go with this bike. It looks like we're just going to go for a full crash here onto AF.
We have a few options available to you. This is a good wall to work for now, at least, as the throwables will come out of Zenith, but they're not going to find anything. Punich doing his best to hold off the inevitable push. Meanwhile, Afromaniacs find whatever angle they can. You can see Super looking at the gaps, peeking the gaps, see if he can sneak a bullet in there, maybe do a little bit of damage. Not going to come through just yet, Punich. 7 kills for Zenith, and they've made the top 5, so that is good news for them. You can see them holding down that 5th place position with STK. 3 teams right now tied at 98, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. It's crazy. 300, meanwhile, still have a shot at maybe jumping up a little bit higher in the rankings. They're currently in 9th, but they're 1 point behind ATC, 2 points behind Sonics. This could be huge for 300 if they can manage to dispatch of Punich and make their way a little bit further into the circle, into the late game.
300's constantly found themselves in a position where I think, in terms of their shot calling, they know where they need to be. But as you said, I mean, winning out these fights mechanically, especially against Zenith, to have that position is going to be imperative here. The circle is going to shift in their favor here. But as you can see, each and every peak is met with a little bit of damage there. 4F has their eyes locked and loaded on this, but now shoot to kill. That's got great positioning here onto the eastern side. Looking to see what they can do into LR as Stone Storm and Hoshi are going to have to keep creeping their way into the zone. They're not quite in safely just yet, and that ridge line is going to make it a little bit hard if they can't stay alive. You can see Purdy Curdy doesn't want to wait, doesn't want people out here on the edge, and with the rest of the coverage from Shoot to Kill, it's going to go ahead and step forward. Got a nade to start, trying to see if he can catch them on this knock res. He's got 3.5 seconds. He's got to throw that nade now. Here it comes, landing just above, but too far. And you can see them two back up, but it's all right. Kurt's got another nade in hands. This time bouncing just a bit short, gets them low, but doesn't find a knock.
Heads up play from Hoshi to get the hell out of there, realizing that a second nade was most likely going to be coming through. So Hoshi gets his heal off, lost reality. Everybody back up to a work withable health. Kurt being on a solo mission, not anything too shocking or surprising. We'll see if we can get anything done. 300, though, they have been just up against the wall right here for quite some time. Afromaniacs, I mean, they've got literally nothing else to shoot at but these guys. So they're just trying to see if they can sneak any bullets between the cracks in the fences. Meanwhile, Stone Storm and Hoshi on the move. They're going to be getting a little bit close to where Poonage is. Poonage, not sure if he heard the footsteps or not, but you can see he's definitely got his cat ears up. They're hearing every single sound. There he goes. He's going to spot one, but it's not going to matter. Stone Storm cleans him up, and that's 8 kills now for Lost Reality, and we've made it to the top 4.
I mean, this is a great win for Lost Reality to take this compound. Kurt still has his eyes in that area, and so if they had kind of hung around without committing to that push, there could be a chance that SDK would have found another way to make their day bad. But now sitting on 8 kills, 5 of which going to Stone Storm, 3 to Hoshi. So all of them coming from these two players. But you've got 300 that was still looking for an opening to push, and that might not come yet because Super's got a nade, and all of 300 is bunched up here. But that nade's going to bounce just short as 300 tries to take a push here on that compound, but gets spotted out by SDK and Lost Reality.
Oof.
Oh, Pinto, what happens? I think Pinto just got run over by Alo and is fortunately knocked and flushed out of the game. So Shoot to Kill down 1.
Oh, and yet they still allow Alo to drive. Okay, Lost Reality doing a heck of a job holding off 300 right now. Nepal are the last one up, and I think they've got him spotted, pinned down by the Junker. He's not inside circle either here, so he's pretty screwed, to be honest. Hoshi going to finish off later. That's going to be another point in the pocket of Lost Reality as they are trying their best to make sure they get the top 16. There goes Neff, and he will be done. 300, though, tied with ATC in total points at that 8th place, 9th place spot. So we've got one game left to figure out who's going to make it the cut line, and boy, it's going to be close.
And Kurt, remember, did follow LR, Lost Reality, into this position earlier on. So as he creep up, the rest of Shoot to Kill start to follow in behind. Alo joining in on this, and Kurt is going to get a knock and flush onto Stone Storm. So Hoshi left to fend for himself as he's got to turn his backs to 4F and try to prevent this push coming in from SF. We can see some, nicely thrown nades, but it's actually going to be Alo with the headshot there to take out Lost Reality. Now this compound going to Shoot to Kill right now on 11 kills. That's a 3v4 for.
Well, Afromaniacs may have to actually collect their belongings and finally leave the compound that they've been hanging out in for about the last 6 circles. They've been getting stuff done there, though. As you can see, they have made the jump. They've made the top 16. Good grenade. I mean, you want to talk about SGK and throwables? That story has been written and written again too many damn times at this point. STK and throwables is not even mythology. It's just straight up lore at this point. The Afromaniacs trying to see if they can maybe clutch out a win and secure their top 16 leaderboard position a little bit more. Remember, we were saying obviously top 8 in this lobby is going on to the ESL PUBG Masters Americas Finals. However, 9th through 16th will also secure themselves a spot towards they basically won't have to play open qualifiers for PCS4, so they make their way to the group stages for free. So that is also a huge deal for some of these guys that are playing from that 9 to 16 spot. We'll see if they can get it. As Shoot to Kill try to be a little bit more aggressive here. They're going to get right on the doorstep of Afromaniacs, and Greg's
Ooh,
shot
good
will
angle.
pop out. Ooh, he did not like what he seed there. Saw? Sure, why not?
That's a good nade as well. I mean, you got to give credit to Afromaniacs for keeping this really push coming in from SDK too easily there. As Show gets the flush onto Luke. It is now a 4v2. Oh, and spotting Alo out through the smoke, finds the knock. There's only one now, and you can see just as Greg Shot started to take the push, he actually got flashed. He's going to have to pull back, and Free Me Please now looking for another angle. And looks like Kurt has actually managed to make his way inside, so is 4F walking around through the smokes, try to see if they can spot Kurt. Kurt actually goes outside right in front of Greg Shot, but doesn't matter. Greg Shot's got it here. And Afromaniacs, with a much-needed win, skyrocket themselves up to 12th place with 62 points.
I swear, that is the second time in a week that I've seen Greg Shot win a 1v1 by doing the damn drop shot like it's 2017. Greg Shot pulling out the old strats to make sure that Afromaniacs wins that one. And like you said, I mean, absolutely huge stuff for them. It was a great game for SDK as well. I mean, that holding down the north side of El Pozo when everybody knows that this sucker is going to El Pozo, and there was a number of teams up on that north side playing the mountains, 300 fabled, that SDK had to kind of hold off, and they had to deal with the Sonics issue. So SDK playing that really, really well.
Yeah, the Pozo Fields was a huge factor in a lot of that. Well, we saw some teams kind of position around, and that early split that we had to Shoot to Kill, where they had almost kind of, I want to say, too much real estate to really manage well in El Pozo, pulled it back as teams started coming in. It was very obvious, hey, this circle is going to this city, and kept it alive, kept clear, cleaned out the Sonics, cleaned out Fable, cleaned out any team that really kind of threatened that angle that they wanted to play from up through the late game. But ultimately, king of the, I guess, tower there with 4F taking that chicken dinner at the end.
I mean, sometimes all you got to do is get a good circle and get a tower to play from. Afromaniacs, they managed to do just that. Only a couple of kills for them, but the placement points should be enough to pull them into that top 16, and they'll be sitting pretty comfortably with one game remaining, guys. One game left to determine who the top 8 are going to be that go on to the ESL PUBG Masters America's Finals. We will have that game for you when we come back. Don't go anywhere. Hey everybody, we are back once again. I am Porosaurus, she is Clover, and this is the ESL PUBG North America qualifiers for the ESL PUBG Masters Americas. We have one game remaining to decide who the top 8 is going to be, and we've got a number of fights going on across the leaderboard that are very interesting, Clover, not just for that 8th place spot, but for first as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's really coming down to kills for a lot of teams. But before we get to the overall, let's take a look at the previous match. And although Afromaniacs had the chicken dinner, they're in third. They're 4 points, tied up with Lost Reality, got second. But shoot to kill, 11 kills. That was a great game for them. And as well, a shout out to 300 for once again, kind of helping out their climb bit, trying to make that spot, as you said earlier, to qualify for PCS4.
Been tough sledding for sure, and it's all come down to this final game as we take a look at the overall leaderboard to see what we're working with going into game number 6 on the day. Spicy Fish and Dodge are tied at the top with 114 points apiece, and they've got Shoot to Kill kind of nibbling at their heels a little bit here. So 3 teams all with a shot at the top spot going into the final game, but that's not what's important. What's important is the top 8, Clover, and that is so close.
I mean, at the beginning of the day, we talked about what that potential cutoff could be, and I think the cutoff might be in the 80s in terms of points. Any trolls in chat is not playing. They're sitting this one out. And right now, they're sitting in 8th place with a total of 77 points. So if 300 puts a single point down, gets any more kills, so I guess really 11 more kills, right? They've got to outkill any trolls in chat who are leading with 51 to 300's 41, then they can take that spot away. So if 300 can find it in themselves to do something about it, they can get into that top 8 position. Veritas, a little bit more work ahead of them. They're still at 67 points, but we've seen teams like Veritas have a good 10 kill game, have a 10 kill chicken dinner, and that would be enough to push them ahead.
Indeed, it would. And those 2 chicken dinners coming up real big for 300 right now as they sit here fighting for their lives, their tournament lives, to get into that top 8. And lest we forget, Sonics, they're right there. They are right there on the cut line. It is entirely possible if 300 and Veritas both have big games here in the final game. Even Afromaniacs, really, if they have a huge game, could come in and sweep in, and we could find ourselves in a world where Sonics don't make the grand finals, which is would be shocking to say the least. I don't think it'll happen personally. I think Sonics will finish off this last game very, very strong. I think they'll come in with enough points to secure themselves a spot. It's definitely leaving a little bit of sweat on the brows of the Sonics fans out there, and I know there's a bunch of them.
No, it's not what you wanted at all for Sonics. Just since the very beginning, it seems like they haven't really had a single game go too terribly well for them in terms of points today and what they've been able to really put down and accomplish. And it's why they've haven't really been able to climb back. I mean, they fell out of position because Group B played 6 games without them versus C yesterday, and haven't really been able to catch back up as they play through the rest there today. But that said, I mean, we do have that one last game, and Poro, I mean, for so many teams, there's so much on the line. You also talked about the top 16 cutoff. It's a little bit close there. It's 17th, 18th, 19th place, all with 45, 44, and 41 points. So
Mm.
Lost Reality fabled. If they can make a bit of a push here, we might even see them lap some of those B teams that are also sitting out today.
We shall see. Well, we are ready and in the plane flying over Miramar for our final game of the day. And this is where everything is on the line. Everything will be determined by the end of this one. Definitely worth noting, though. As much as we're kind of leaning into Sonics a little bit, they are playing with a sub. They have Zampa filling in for Mime, and at the end of the day, you know what? If you make the top 8, doesn't matter. Top eight's all
Mhm.
that matters. Once you get to the finals, nobody's going to care where you finished in qualifiers. All right.
Yeah, and I mean, we talk about having not having a bad day, having a bad week, and what we really mean by that is you don't want to lose out on that chance to qualify. And a big reason that we're giving them a hard time is because they're making this a really scary possibility that that is exactly what
It's
could
close.
happen.
It's
I mean,
close.
we've seen already today. You know, they had a couple games where they wrapped and rotated in or around some of these areas. They had one player get knocked, two players get knocked, three, four. Suddenly the team's out in phase 1, 2, and they're not able to put points down if any. And that's kind of been the heartbreaking story of them today when you look at their performance they had on Friday. But given where the circle is, given their position out here in Picado, this is a good start for them and a good opportunity for them to start farming a little bit and climb that leaderboard.
Oh, Lamp-a-Lot on the hunt. There are a lot of trees in there, man. Simply Matt has his New Balances tied up tight. He is not going to let you get away with this. Lamp, why are you hovering around this like you're going to get it? Just go. Just go. Oh, now Finn is going to come too. Y'all are both going to do this? Is this what we're doing? We're going to get him on both sides?
Well, when the opportunity is there. Hi, Kerman. There you go, buddy.
Simply Matthias is just sitting there like, yeah, of course it was me. Of course it had to be. It had to be me that got caught out. Unfortunate. Unfortunate for Simply Matthias. Unfortunate for Fabled. But that is going to be the 1 point that Dodge needs to put them in first place right now overall, as they have now passed the Spicy Fish for that first place position. We'll see how the rest of the game plays out as we check in with Vox and the 300 boys looting up around San Martin, just on the outside of the northern part of the circle here. So they don't have too far to go, but anytime you look at these southern circles, you always got to wonder, because the center of the center of the map always gets a lot of teams where you know exactly where everybody's leading, right? They know that Zenith is right to their south. They know that SDK is just off to their east. They know that Sonics is in Pachinki. They know that Oath is just over in Graveyard
Mm.
La Bendita, that area. So with that knowledge, how you decide now to rotate into this circle is going to be interesting. I mean, do you decide to try to send it straight in, or do you do maybe a long wrap around and come up from the south side?
And I think we had a very similar circle to this yesterday, and what a lot of those teams did opt to do is take that long wrap along the western side to highways out to the south and kind of play the edge out near Leonis. The problem is with circles like this, a lot of times people say, well, if it's not going to go in Leonis, is it going to go north of Leonis or south of Leonis? And in terms of yesterday, almost all of the teams put themselves south of Leonis. So you've got to make those decisions quickly because, as you say, everybody knows about where the main teams are that land and loot in this area. So as people try to make that rapid rotation, they've also got to be weary that they might not be the first person to have that exact same thoughts. And that's why we've been seeing so much edge fighting in the early games here, oftentimes these North American games, because so many of these teams are thinking alike. But Ascendance right now, you can see is, they don't want neighbors in Los Leones, and they're going to take a fight to Elusive quickly right now to try and resolve this.
Ah, yes, the classic Circle One Game Six Los Leones fight that we've seen so often. Well, Elusive in a pretty good spot right here. I mean, it's always tough to push into these buildings. So I mean, I think Ascendance maybe just looking to see if Elusive slips up more than anything. I don't think we'll see any full hard pushes into this. They're just going to see if they can maybe sneak a kill off of the Elusive boys. Zealot is kind of the front man here, just listening for footsteps. You can see Raven looking through the windows to see anything. I don't think I would take that shot if I was Raven. Actually, I think Why So Ugly might have actually spotted him, unless he zoomed in
Oh,
on range, which might be the case. Yeah.
I think
Uh,
they definitely spotted him.
yeah, it's possible. Yeah, look at, I mean, Why You So Ugly shooting at things
Balls,
way
Raven!
down range, and Raven takes that opportunity to get the quick knock. And now Zealot, he's got his creepy feet on. That might be the full on push here from Ascendance. Magi gonna be doing it as well. Now, is Elusive coming up? Yeah, Fizzle already sending it in this direction as well. So Zealot on the stairs. The res does come through, but the push is coming through from Ascendance. Fizzle holding it from the outside for now. He's got a throwable in hand. Let's see if he can maybe find somebody. Fizzle going to take some more damage as well, as Zealot spotting out things from the south side.
Ascendants really need to be careful about how they take this push right now, as we could see Zealot looking carefully, watching every angle for that peek
I
coming
thought
from
he was
Mice
on
and
the
Ugly. He knows
stairs.
it's in this area, but I mean, stairs absolutely scary to play, and you can see Weiss Ugly actually already starting to maneuver down and around from the fire escape here. Now has found himself on the roof, lying prone, and waiting for that peek. But what is
Oh
this?
no!
This all the way out from the south. Actually, he's got
Get
angle.
off
He's
your
gonna get a
stomach!
knock here.
Oh no! Uncivil from way downtown. Gonna find the knock. Will he get the flush as well? Nope. Zealot will do the honors for that one. So why you so ugly goes down. Jay all day just jumping off the roof. He's like, screw it, I'll take the damage to get out of that situation. He's gonna find himself in a Bronco. Try to get on out of there for the time being. The shots will come in the back, but it's not gonna be enough. Look at this. Actually, Roth right up on top of Morns as well. And he sneaks up and he gets it. Wins the 1v1. Oh no. Elusive getting pinched from every which way in Los Leones of all places.
I mean, you joked the game 6 Los Leones push. People are just hot dropping and collapsing onto one another, taking a chance that maybe this will go city, but not really wasting any time looking for the opportunity of points. And now as we break away for just a moment, we can see 300 just starting to put down their tracks for where they want to play from. But we've still got more teams still working their way in for the zone. We can see just beyond them Sonics with a bit of a 2-2 split on either side of the street. They're kind of hedging their bets on whether or not the circle is going to go north or south here, but we've got to be a bit careful of some other neighbors in the area. And you can see Picado, Cozy Crew getting a bit close to Sonics. Looks like somebody got their buggy trapped. Unfortunately, looks like Tetra's going to go ahead and reposition, see if he can find another angle safely against Shoot to Kill.
Yeah, it's a shoot to kill. Doing a little backfilling in Pachinki after Sonis has already left, and Cozy Crew, I don't know. I mean, sending it right into the middle of Picado when you know so many teams play around that area, that's definitely ambitious to say the least, and they will pay the price for it. Vox, meanwhile, looks like he might have spotted out Sonics from range here. It might be a little bit of long range shot trading going on. This is Zampa going to do a little bit of work into Nephahora, going to land those. You can see the Sonics stats right there. Looking great after day one, but day two has been a little bit of a letdown. But once again, I will suck up to Sonics fans and say that they are playing with a sub, and that sub has not played PUBG since, well, I mean, damn near early access. I don't know. Zampa even, I'm not even sure Zampa had this game downloaded a month ago. So yeah, Zampa definitely a fantastic player in his own right, but it has been some time since he has been in a competitive setting. But you know, he's getting better with every game for sure. Getting back into the swing of things. It's got to be like riding a bike in some sense. But at the end of the day, he is still a sub. So you know, you got to cut Sonic some slack.
Yeah, I mean, Zampa did have a good performance on Friday. He found himself quite a bit of kills, damage, and good. Really, a part of that win for Sonics on Friday. But for whatever reason, things just aren't clicking for them today. And another team that we've really been concerned about as to whether or not things will click has been Houston Hardships. I mean, again, they're finding themselves in engagements, they're finding themselves in fights, they're getting knocks, they're finding damage, but those knocks are getting stolen. Those fights sometimes are lost, and they really struggle to get out of the early and mid game. And unfortunately for them, that's really kind of kept them out in or about last place. So this fight early on with Dodge, who's been fighting Spicy Fish for first place, we can see they're tied yet again for 115 points. Now needing to be a little bit mindful of this push coming in from Houston Hardships, with Chuba starting to peak just over the ridge line. Looks like he's spotted Lampalot. Hasn't taken shots out just yet. There we go. A little bit of controlled spray, but it's actually going to be returned there as Lampalot's going to cut the pressure, keep Chuba back down from this. As Chuba now waiting for the rest of Hardships to move on to help him here, but that circle is going to shift back towards Los Leones, and that's a decision now that these two teams need to make if they want to take this fight, Poro.
Those are good grenades from Chuba, going to prevent the push. You can see Dodge was ready and willing to crash onto him. Farmer Billy now going to provide a little bit of support from this left side. So if they do decide to push, they're going to run into two instead of one. Chuba gets knocked extremely low. Finna going to find the opening shots onto that one, as Hardships just waiting for the push right here. As they've got J-Sank and Lobes providing some support from range. Dodge, for their part, look to be playing just around the walls right now more than anything. Lobes going to take a few shots and advantage pull off of that. So I think that fight will most likely go ahead and finish up as the Sonics are on the move, find themselves a home in this next circle, the new circle. And they're going to get Prio on a very, very good compound, one that a lot of teams love to play in this position.
Yeah, I mean the play, of course, we saw they had that 2-2 split, waiting to see if it was going to go that north of Los Leones or stay out and about this area. So, good, easy rotation to take out this position. Now, Los Leones still northern part of the circle. There's a potential it could shift away from the city, and as you said, that compound really great priority access for here. Now we're seeing the rest of our Los Leones circles really try to bunch up along the edge, give themselves line of sight on teams that might be approaching in from the west. And I still think mentally kind of saying this isn't going to shift back towards the city, so they want to get as much information as they can possible. But also keep the pressure on those teams in around the area. Shooting coming out from D Treats onto Reload, but it's going to be met with some damage by Penta. So really kind of a tricky peak for some of these teams here.
Now Sonic's going to find themselves getting pushed by Spicy Fish here. Roth, I think, feeding that information from the high ground. Sharp Shot going to pick Shrimsy right out of the car.
Nice shot.
It's going to be a second down for Sonics here as now Zampa finds himself in the compound. I think it is Tig that is running around outside, still alive, still surviving. But Sonics, once again, just the first fight that they get into, and it's just at the worst possible time for them. We'll see if Zampa can maybe clutch out something here, or if Tig can maybe come and try to rejoin him. Zampa, is that M4 ready? Holding the line. He's going to see the jump peak from Civ will come through. No shots will come. Flashbang will slow it just a little bit, but that's not going to be enough. Sharp Shot going to finish him off. And that is Spicy Fish picking up another 4 kills in Circle 2. Tig now the last remaining player, and he's just going to try to book it. He's got more than half of his health has gone down. There should be plenty of places now, though, in the southern part of this circle for him to hide if he can just get there.
I mean, Keenan's just straight up chasing Tickleton. He knows what's going on, and Tickleton stopping, trying to get that heal, and Keenan already switching, looking for that drive-by, but just didn't quite find the angle as he came down the hill for here, getting Tig so low, just one more bullet, it's all it's going to take, but losing a bit of control of the car, Tig down to 7 health, and chasing actually is going to take down Keenan and punish this chase.
This is 100% Spicy Fish, seeing that it's Sonics, knowing that they took out 3, and they know the position that Sonics is in. They are trying to get them out of the lobby. They do not want to have to go to a grand finals where Sonics is playing. Shoot to Kill, looking over in that direction as well. They've spotted out the smoke. If they can get rid of Tig, it could be huge, as we know the chase is on. And this is the absolute last thing that Sonics needed to have happen. The circle will pop, and it is going to center up. Donut, once again, half Los Leones, half on the south. But so many hungry mouths coming down to see if they can finish up the Sonics here.
I just know where Tickleton can go at this point, and you can see he is getting some damage there onto Sharp Shot. Actually, he's going to find the knock. It's Alo who gets his SDK was creeping up on the back side of it. So Spicy Fish and their desire to chase out Sonics are going to lose 2, but there you have it. Tickleton found out by Purdy Curdy. 3 kills now to Shoot to Kill, and Sonics locked into 7th place, tied for 78 points with 300. So if Veritas Ascendants really have a great game here, that could spell trouble for Sonics.
All eyes on Veritas, really. Now, Ascendants and Afromaniacs, as you said, as well. But this is going to be tight time. Sonics, as they're going to have to watch this one play out without them. Veritas still in Los Leones, 67 points. They have to have a very big game. I mean, they've got some climbing to do. It's going to be hard work for sure, but not outside of the realm of possibility. We'll see where the circles decide to go. 300, meanwhile, they have found themselves in 8th place. They have passed ATC. So ATC, last one of our 2 remaining players, or 2 remaining teams from Group B, find themselves supplanted. So only one Group B team now has made it, and that's going to be Gas Cans. As everybody else has since been passed. Neverhore going to take a few shots into Reno as Cozy tries to rotate in from the north side. Well, what's left of Cozy? Actually, no, the rest of Cozy, I think, is way down south.
They're dead.
Where's Reno
They're dead.
been?
It is just
Are
Reno.
they?
Reno's the only player left still up for Cozy. Tetris, Zucky Boy, and Delta have all unfortunately been taken out from an earlier engagement. So that said, I mean,
Oh, they were the ones that crashed into Picado. That's
mhm.
right.
Yeah,
That's
against
right.
shoot to kill. So, but that said, I mean, we've got all of Los Leones that is still out and open. So, good place for Reno to hide out and not get spotted from. But you can see 300's taking a similar rapid rotation in, so there's a chance they could still spot him, and that could be it for Cozy.
A few trailing shots from Jazza. We'll let 300 know that somebody's looking in that direction. Meanwhile, Veritas has crept down with Michael all the way to the southern part of Los Leones here in the same little western bank of buildings. The new circle will pop, and it is going to be outside of Los Leones. It's going to go south. Spicy Fish still in the middle, what's left of them. Ascendants just north of them. Cozy, well, there you go. Reno gonna get spotted out, and that is gonna do it for Cozy Crew. As a number of knocks and flushes coming through as teams are trying to make their way inside the circle. Looks like hard shifts are running right into Oath on the western edge here. Meanwhile, Michael is starting to slowly make his way down into Ascendants, and Ascendants has no idea. Magi doing damage into the backside of Oath here.
This is a great
Veritas.
scoring chance for Veritas.
This is huge. This is absolutely huge for Veritas. They need to get these kills.
Currently at 67 points. Really, I think if Veritas can make it into the late game and find themselves even with 5 or 6 kills, that might be just enough to get them over the edge. So you want to see them come out with a successful fight. On the flip side of this, Oath right now sitting in 6th. They're pretty comfortable. There's no real chance of them getting taken out. But with Houston hard shifts, they've got the opportunity to kind of play edge and continue keeping keeping some of these teams pressured out. But right now, Michael, the sneak game that he's playing, I think he might even try to see if you can spot an angle here, but luckily nobody for Sentences on the top.
Yeah, I think they heard him. I think they heard the rustling around, or they have a little bit of an idea because they are looking over in this direction. You can see them creep walking around. They're not hanging out on that top floor anymore, though. They realize the situation. They pull back down to the second, take the shots over towards 300. So good awareness from Ascendants, realizing what lines of sight are available. Ray still going to be taking free shots over into hard shifts. The smoke, there you go. You can see the smoke has bloomed. Warlob's Farmer Billy, though, does get spotted and flushed, and that's going to be it for hard shifts, going down in 14th place, 24th in the lobby. Not at all what we expected from that squad.
I mean, you have bad days and you have bad weekends, but for whatever reason, things just weren't quite clicking with the hard shifts as they go out in 27 points. But you can see right now, the next big story here is whether or not Veritas can pull off magic and climb themselves into the top 8, as they have been very carefully trying to go up onto Ascendants. The problem is that as long as they took, they've also allowed Elusive to creep in behind them up to the north. But you can see Fizzle and Jay all day are instead going to try to play the western side of this, coming down the ridgeline. But that still could mess things up for Veritas now, as they've got to be a little bit careful. You can see Danny G keeping an eye, as we did hear, as you called it earlier, the footsies of Elusive.
Little footsies. You got to hear the little footsies. You got to always have your headphones on the correct direction. As Snakers gets finished out by Luke 12. SDK still collecting points over there on the west side, even though they're down to 2. Meanwhile, another team that we got to keep our eyes on a little bit is Afromaniacs. You can see them all by themselves down in the southwest. If they have a heck of a game for themselves, they could find them. They could try to make a late day climb here. But Veritas, all eyes on them right now. Jazza has gone down, so they are pushing forward as 3-0 kills on the board so far. Ascendance is the brick wall that they've got to push through, and T-Sock has a great line right now, good angle. But here we go. The push coming out from Veritas, going to be led off with the grenades. Not going to find any joy just yet. D-Treats, it's taken low. Good Molotov comes through. That's going to find Michael. And that's a great, great Molotov from Ascendants to keep that push from coming.
And a big thing too to help him out here is that Elusive has moved on. You could see a couple times different members of Veritas were keeping a watchful eye on the north to make sure that they weren't going to get third-partied onto this. But now as the kill feed lights up, I think they can know, hey, we can turn our full attention onto this fight between its ascendants here. And so Veritas detreats Michael, Danny G, restructuring themselves on the outside of this building, waiting for this push to come. And we're in phase 5. The zone's going to have to move from here, so it's got to go quickly. They pick up one, take up T-Sock, but they're going to lose Danny G out. This T-treats down to 5 HP, and Michael no time to heal up as well, but Zraven peeks around the corner and gets another knock. There's one left for Veritas. Can Ascendants clean this up?
Well, bad news bears for Veritas. They had to make the push. They had to do something. They do get 2 kills. That's not nearly enough. And now the blue has arrived. The bullets are coming through. Michael down to 19, 14, 11. That's going to be it. Zraven cleans him up, and Sonics fans around the world breathe a sigh of relief. Now Ascendants turning their attention towards Oath. Keep in mind, they can still make a push here. They've got 67 points. Reload gets spotted out, and that's going to be it for him. 6 kills for Ascendants as they are making a nice late-game run here, but they've lost Zealot. It's down to just Raven and Maji, and they are running in with the blue right behind their backs, and everybody are going to be looking at that Murano.
I mean, just full sending into the concretes, and luckily they're going to be able to get there safely and have a little bit of time to recover. But where this phase could go, look how much free and open space is ahead of them. Any wrap after that could be difficult ahead. But right now, 300 with multiple teams crashing in or around their compound as everybody starts to vacate what was left of the Leona squads. Meanwhile, 4F, another team we've kind of talked about that has potential here to chase, taking some long-range shots at shoot to kill. They had a ridiculous wrap to even get here, kind of flipping sides of the map, but that's a lot of them a really comfortable compound to play from in this zone.
Absolutely. 4F and Ascendants, the last real threats towards that top 8. As you see, Ascendants is down to just 2. Afromaniacs still have 4 up, but 0 kills, and they're playing from the slow side of the circle. Not really a lot of action going on around them. So this is mostly them waiting for the late game to see if they can maybe collect a few more kills off of what's left. Well, Light Show going to find that tier 3 armor. That's going to be a nice little come up. But they've got STK off to the north that they've been trading shots with. The remainder of STK. Meanwhile, Fable's going to find 300. Hack's going to find 1. Get the cleanup, but the head kick will then trade him out. Hella and Sneak Attack, the last 2 up. We'll try holding that angle for now. The push from 300 will be paused by a nicely placed flashbang. See what 300 decide to do. They're just going to crash right in, and they're not going to be looking in the right direction. Ella will find 2, and that's it. Is that all the 300? Are they all done? No, one's still
there's
up.
still one more up. Later. Oh. You can see this. I mean, it's really Fable pushed this, set this up perfectly, waited for the push to come, was able to mow up too, but you can see Leda right now working on healing, recovering, waiting for an angle, and now Sneak Attack and Hella trying to approach this from different views, breaking some windows. That's going to definitely pull his attention and might be able to get Hella a little bit closer. Sneak Attack accidentally shooting his own teammate as he sought the body before he saw the name.
Oh dear. Well, they find him. Leda does go down, and here's the push from Afromaniacs. They decide to start being a little bit more proactive. They're going to push into STK, see if they can clean up the 2. But there are Molotovs everywhere. The floor is lava, literally. Light Show looking in that sneaky position. Not going to spot him. Luke will get spotted out now. It's down to just 1, and it is going to be Purdy Curdy seeing if he can do any damage here. Afromaniacs, as they are getting shot from long range, but nothing more than just annoying shots, really, more than anything, as Afromaniacs slowly wait for these smokes to clear so they can deal with Purdy Curdy.
And, you know, we've seen as well a little bit of damage coming in from Maji. So Ascendants still have the zone from that circle shift with 2 up. They just need 10 points. 10 points, and they can push Sonics out and claim that top 8 spot, especially if more than half of those are kills. They'll win in kills if it's tiebreaker alone. But here we go. The push coming in from Free Me Please. Take out Purdy Curdy. STK find themselves eliminated. And now as we wait for the zone to close just a bit, for the most part, everybody's about done fighting. You've got our 2 solos, Roth and Hikerman, trying to find a place to go. Hikerman gets found out, but excuse me, no, Roth is not a solo. We've actually still got Civ just up as well. Roth has actually just extended himself that far away from Civ as he's curious what's going on with the Zenith flight down to the south. So
well, with That dodge has gone down, so that is secured first place for Spicy Fish. For all the clout and recognition that it's worth, they will take that after, which is not a bad showing in your first outing as a squad to take first place and to take it in pretty dominating fashion
Mm.
between yesterday and today. I mean, two great days of games from the Spicy Fish squad, and we'll see if they can add a little bit more to it here as the circle does pop, and they are inside. But all eyes have to be on Afromaniacs here. Can they pull off the impossible or improbable, really, and collect enough kills and enough points to find themselves jumping into the top 8?
And leaving
This,
Freebie Police behind as well, anchored facing Ascendance, is the best thing for them as well, because Ascendance is really the team that they're chasing to try to get that spot out. They're 4 points, excuse me, behind Ascendance, but they've got 4-man strong. The issue right now is that they haven't really had a lot of scoring opportunities, or rather, they haven't really been able to capitalize them as well as they wanted to. And with however many people are left, 16, 12 left to kill, a couple placement points, they're going to have to really start taking out as many people in the lobby if they want to be able to clean up those numbers. But right now, shots coming out from Roth. Remember that overextension that he had where he left Ziv behind, and he's going to catch not one but two out for Lost Reality as they are eliminated out as well. So full squad wipe out here. But look at this, Zenith seeing that coming out for the push, and now Civ nades out towards Ascendance, who left their compound as well. Oh no.
Jeez. When you're Spicy Fish, you get your food delivered. Lost Reality setting up right nice there for Roth and Civ. Roth does go down, though, as the grenades will come out from Ascendance. Can they clean up what's left? They are taking so much damage in the smoke, but they haven't gone down yet. The car will die. It will flip, but the grenade's not coming through. They're just going to have to push it right into Uncivil and see if they can finish him off. Can they do it? Yeah, they can. But Super will finds Raven from behind, so it's down to just Maji as Ascendance and Afromaniacs right neck and neck now. They still have some work to do to catch up to Sonics, but Ascendance, they're 4 points away.
I mean, it's so close. They are 5 kills shy from Sonics right now. So if it comes down to a tiebreaker, Sonics will remain that spot in terms of kills. But things are absolutely scary right now. 4F right now with 4 kills up, 4 men up, and their dominant position on the circle. This is their zone. Unless it hard shifts down to the south that pushes them on the edge, it probably won't. Then they should be okay here. As you see, it is going to center up on them. So Zenith and Maji are going to have to work their way here into the Afromaniacs position.
I mean, this thing is just absolutely set up for an Afromaniacs win, but they need to get. I feel like to be comfortable, they got to get some of these kills. Or all of these kills, really. I'm not doing the head math as to how the leaderboard works as far as where the kill distribution goes, but and placement points. But I this could be absolutely devastating for Sonics, as Afromaniacs have complete control over this circle. But can Zenith or maybe Maji pull off something magical? It's not outside of the realm of possibility. We've seen crazier things happen, Clover.
Absolutely. We've seen teams win a 5v1 before, or 1v5 rather. And so you can't discount solos this late in the game, especially Maji, who's probably one of the best fraggers on this squad so far this series. But looking where he is outside the edge, looking what's available ahead of him, he could play that dip that from the edge, maybe hope Xena starts shooting and really distracts AF, and that's a big possibility. But it looks like no, they've spotted him right off the bat. Shots are out. Maji does get spotted out, and Ascendance are going to go out before leaping over Sonics. But the story now still remains, can Afromaniacs get this chicken dinner? And will it be enough? Will it be the 79 points needed to push Sonics out of the top 8?
I'm doing some mental math here just based off the leaderboard. Even if they win this game, they didn't get that kill. And I think even if they get these 2 kills against Zenith, that'll tie them with Sonics with the win. They needed to get the kill onto Ascendance there to have the tiebreaker. So I think if Afromaniacs wins this, if I'm not mistaken, I don't like doing turbo math here, chat. I really don't, but I mean it's that close right now, and I feel like if Afromaniacs gets these 2 kills and the win, they'll be tied with Sonics, but that's not going to be enough to do it. We'll have to see. they still got to get the win first, and they still got to get these 2 kills. As Vegas and Maluk doing a nice little spread along the side of this ridge line. It's just peeking up over the ridge line and trading back in shots. And to be fair, Afromaniac's not really doing a whole lot of damage onto Zenith, as Zenith has really done a good job of working this ridge line, but it looks like this might be the go sign. Show gonna send it over. He's gonna spot out Maluk, gonna do a little bit of damage. Greg Shot's gone down though. Vegas spots him out. Maluk down to about half HP. Light Show down to half as well. As Vegas moving across the street at the exact same time that Light Show was. Maluk will find Show, and now it's a 2v2. Super. He's gonna go down. No!
Vegas!
Vegas clutching it out for Zenith. Free me,
Maluk's
please.
only
The
got
last
30
one up.
bullets.
He's got to go. He's going for the res. He's going for the res onto Greg Shot. It's happening right in front of Vegas, but he can't see it through the smoke. Maluk right on top of him as well. They're going to reposition. Oh, Vegas gets another one. Free me, please. It's down, and Zenith wins. Afromaniacs had the shot, but Zenith closing the door and saving the Sonics. What a final game here. Oh, and Zenith.
You all right? I know, you're right. I mean, that was scary.
That's 3 wins today for Zenith as well. So unbelievable 2v4 performance there from Vegas and Maluk, letting us know that Zenith, I mean, they might have made 2 changes to that roster, but they are still a force to be reckoned with here today. 3 wins on the day from Zenith. What a performance.
Absolutely. And, you know, at the very end as well, we saw both Vegas and Maluk were starting to kind of run down to the last clips of ammo they had. Vegas only 30 bullets left in the chamber. And so although you did have 4F rezzing in the smoke, they didn't want to take the chance to miss that spray and lose out on those bullets later in the fight. So luckily for them, though, they were able to clear that out. And as you said, add another win to that. Now, that said, we've got a couple of leaderboards to go over for today. We're going to wait just a second, get all of those queued up, as well as the leaderboards for LATAM, which have also been finalized, Boro.
Absolutely. And there you go. There's your LATAM final leaderboard. So the top 8 from that tournament will be going on to face the top 8 from our leaderboard. You can see Enrage Gaming going to be in first with 151 points. The 303 Esports LATAM squad, 125. Akresh, the new home for Superstar Sparking, going to be in third place with 113 points. 22 Esports Durrani, Esports NXQ, NXK. I'm going to say NXK because it sounds cooler. NXK in 6th, Old Time in 7th, Young Kings in 8th. And would you look at that, Meta Gaming, after such a fantastic performance at PGIS, just barely falling short. A real close leaderboard for them as well. Look how tight that is right down there at 8th place. Young Kings barely getting in.
And you can see even Furia just one solid game, as well as they didn't make it. Another PJS team out in 15th, but you can see how top heavy Enrage was there at 89 kill points, 151 total, 3 chicken dinners. All 3 of the top 3 teams there with 3 chicken dinners apiece, and that is going to show just what the NA teams are going to have to look forward to when they meet LATAM in the Americas next week.
62 placement points is also extremely impressive through 12 games. I mean, that's nuts. They find that they have a nose for the late game. Enrage Gaming does. So we'll see if that holds up when they get to the grand finals next week. But let's take a look at our North American leaderboards. Do we have those ready to go just yet? Not sure. But we know that Zenith got their 3rd win of the day. I mean, you know, we were talking so much about the day that Dodge had, and within rights, I mean, Dodge had a fantastic day, but I think Zenith got 3 wins in just like the sneakiest fashion. Like they came into today, and I guess it happened in the early games when we were having a little bit of technical difficulties, right? So that might have had something to do with why it kind of passed us by. But I mean, they bookended today with 2 wins. I mean, they came into the first game having an 18 kill win. They finish off the day with an 18-point win. I mean, this is a team that was outside of the top 16 going into today, Clover.
Yeah, they did not have a great showing yesterday. Things weren't quite clicking. And I know that Cameron and I, when we were casting yesterday, a big topic of conversation for some of those squads was that those circles were wonky. Some of those teams were really entering the circles and really crowded points. And that was kind of really taking away, I think, their chances to stay up full man as a squad, stay up for more successful rotations, find themselves in a compo and play comfortably in the late game. And Zenith, for whatever reason today, were able to shake it off. They were able to make some smarter plays, avoid some of those unfortunate instances, and show us that, hey, you know what? Yesterday doesn't really count. Today is what we're really showing where we're at. On the flip side of that, we've had a couple teams do the opposite. They had fantastic first day showings and then faltered a little bit today and gave us a couple of heartbreaks and heartaches and close calls there on the leaderboard today.
Absolutely. I mean, towards the end there, the Sonics, I mean, you're getting hunted down by Spicy Fish and Shoot to Kill. You can tell that that is a team that nobody wants to have in their grand finals lobby. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, I don't think it was enough to keep them out. As well, let's take a look at our overall leaderboard. Are we ready to go? Let's show it. There you go. Sonics by 1 point over any trolls in the chat. Hold on to the 8th place spot. But that will be Spicy Fish in first, Dodge, Zenith, Shoot to Kill, Gas Cans, Oath, 300, and Sonics will be your North American representatives in the ESL Masters Americas Grand Finals.
You love to see it. And I mean, again, a really great showing by so many of those teams that we saw today. Big climbing done by Spicy Fish, Dodge, Zenith, Shoot to Kill also in fourth. I mean, everybody kind of pushed Guadalajara Gas Cans down to the fifth, and Guadalajara Gas Cans, the only team from Lobby B to secure a spot in the top eight, which might be a bit rough for the rest of the teams as well that competed in eight. I mean, ATC, as you said, lost out by 1 point there, but Oath and 300 again really had a great day today, and that got them into that comfortable position here to lock in that top eight.
Well, worth also noting that 9th through 16th won't leave this thing completely empty handed. They get a pass to the group stages of PCS4. Meanwhile, 17th through 24th, well, they're going to have to find themselves making their way into PCS4 through open qualifiers once again. So that is where we're standing right now after this is all said and done. And there you go. That is your lobby for these PUBG Masters America's Grand Finals. Place your bets now because it is going to be an absolute banger. We've got some heavy hitting squads in this one, Clover.
Yeah, I mean, we just looked at the stats as well for LATAM, and Rage is definitely coming in Raged, and we're really excited to see this shakeup between these two regions and whether or not the metas are going to change themselves a bit. We've already seen a bit of an evolution in the way that NA has been playing the early to mid games, more early on fights, more kind of aggressive claiming for compounds earlier on. The way LATAM plays might be a bit different, and that could shake things up in this lobby. So, regardless, we are going to find out as we go to the grand finals starting next week.
And I am very, very excited about it. Another thing I'm very excited about is we have an interview. And I have
Ooh,
no idea who it's going to be with. Who do you think it's going to be, Clover? Who's it
it's
going to be? It's going to be
Keenan.
Keenan.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, what's up, dude?
Chilling, chilling.
Chilling,
Fun
chilling.
group
Well, you
stage.
had a pretty interesting couple of days here. 92 points, huh?
Yeah, that was a big one. Big day.
92 points. So I guess it's safe to say that the squad is starting to come together and communications feeling pretty good.
Yeah, obviously we're a new roster, so the kind of the more like niche things like communication, playing off of like each other's tendencies, getting used to your teammates, all the little synergy type things that you build over time are a little bit more difficult for us because we are a newer team. But everybody's the thing is about this team, everybody's really good at communicating. So we're getting used to each other pretty quick, and things are going good for now. So looking to just build on it and grow and get even better.
Now, with I know you guys kind of started playing together a little bit early on, while the rest of your teammates were still in Korea. You know, you had Roth and Unciv playing in PGIS, and Sharpshot kind of sitting out on the bench waiting in case he was needed for Sonics. What was that like preparing for a team when you have three players across the world, and then getting ready for an event like ESL Masters?
It was a little weird because obviously they had to deal with like traveling back and stuff like that, so we didn't miss a couple of days of practice. And then since we were a brand new team, we didn't have two players returning. We had to play through opens. So instead of scrimming against like the teams in these normal lobbies, we had to play through opens during that time. So it was a little weird, but honestly, I think playing through opens and just kind of like it's not necessarily the hardest lobbies, but it is more of a real game like type of scenario. So we kind of got used to playing the fundamentals with each other through that, and then I think us in better lobbies where things are more predictable, we have like kind of the brain power. Roth is a really good IGL. I mean, he's proven on the world stage. I IGL'd at a high level in NA. Civ has been on a top NA team for a long time. Sharp, same as well. So all of us have the experience to play really well in these lobbies. So we're excited to be back in more normal lobbies.
Mm.
So, what are you guys expecting from the LATAM competition? I know this is kind of our first run of going with the 8v8 North America versus LATAM Americas setup. Are you guys excited about that?
Yeah, should be exciting. Obviously they played against us in DreamHack. I think it was a 10-6, and Latham did really good. They play a little bit of a different play style to some of the NA teams. A lot, kind of more little crazy plays here and there, some send plays every now and then, um, and then sometimes they'll be a little sneaky with it. They'll sneak up on you, so you got to be careful of your back every time when you have LATAM teams around you. But they're a really strong region, and they have just, like some really good players. You see Meta out there playing well on the world stage, so should be exciting. I'm excited to get into it, and the final should be fun.
Yeah, I
Well,
guess we
Oh
should be the ones to
shit!
let you know that Meta actually did not qualify. Neither did Furia.
Is that the sparking difference?
well, sparking diff, I guess. Yeah, I mean, he's playing for a Crash, so Crash finished there in third place.
Yeah,
Don't really know a whole lot about Enrage Gaming, but I guess we'll start to learn a little bit more this week as scrim time starts to fall in a more 50-50 NA LATAM kind of. I guess the scrim blocks will have both more of those teams in, presumably. So, assuming you guys actually scrim for this. Haven't
we'll be
seen you in
scamming.
scrims in a while. Just throwing
Hmm.
that out there.
You keep
But
an eye on us, Poro, on the stream.
I'm trying to, but you got to play in
Okay,
scrims, bro.
we'll
I
be
haven't
there.
seen you in a while. Okay, we're gonna see you there. But gotta say once again, congratulations! Fantastic performance coming from you guys on your first outing as a squad, and expecting only things to get better and better. And congratulations on making it to the top 8. Where do you think
Yeah.
you're gonna finish? By the way,
I mean, obviously, we're out there to win. We easily, we may have messed around a little bit this
no.
last day. Didn't really have a ton to play for, but we had some fun with it. It was a little more lighthearted. We're out there to get first. That's our goal. So we'll try our best to get those PGC points. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and once again, congratulations.
Yep.
You want to give a shout out to
I
anybody
do,
or
I
in chat
do.
in
I gotta,
particular?
I
Give
gotta
it.
give a big shout out first of all to Big Wool coaching us. Obviously, he stepped away from playing. He's been a huge help. The man is a absolute beast. He's always been a super hard worker. I played with him in the past, and he's putting a ton of preparation in, helping us out a lot with both the strategy side of the game, the mental side, everything. So first of all, thank you to Big Wool. Then my teammates, obviously brand new team, so I'm really excited to be playing with these guys. Team is nuts. Super excited about the future. And then all the fans back home watching, friends and family, all the boys in GGWP Discord. Thank you guys so much for the support. It means the world.
Well, I'm just gonna sit here and hope for the name change to come in because spicy fish, man. I can't
Where
I
did that
can't
name
do it.
come from? Who came up with the name?
I'm
It had to be
pretty
Civ.
sure it was Uncivil's girlfriend actually,
Oh well, there you go. Okay.
but eyes emoji. Eyes emoji. You never
Yeah, that's
know.
eyes emoji for sure.
You
We
never
might
know.
be maybe spicy fish won't be called spicy fish for too much longer. But
Who
keep a
knows?
lookout and make sure you follow all those boys on Twitter to keep up with all the latest news. But that
Sure.
is going to do it for us. Thank you once again, Mr. Keenan, for
Thank
joining
you.
us. Always great to have you. But that's going to do it for us, guys. We are done for now, and that is going to be your North America Grand Finals qualifiers, top 8. Let's take a look at that leaderboard once again, or actually, let's take a look at our Grand Finals lobby one more time. Producers, can we throw that up there? There you go. That is what
Beautiful.
you've got waiting for you next week. So don't go anywhere. Make sure you're there to check it out because it is going to be spicy.
Oh, I see what you did
Ooh,
there.
maybe not fishy. Definitely
I hope not.
spicy. Hopefully
Yeah.
not fishy. We'll
Maybe
see.
not a little dodgy either. We don't want that.
Maybe not dodgy either. Well,
Uh,
thank you guys so much for joining us. That is going to do it for us. And we will see you next time. We love you. Thank you for putting up with our technical difficulties. I'm sorry about that, but we got them fixed out anyway. And love you.
yeah, love you. Bye, chat. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching.